71 degrees. Time now is 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl, the intern.
Good morning, McGraw.
You know, people are sometimes shocked to find out I have a police record, but I just like their music.
Saw that one coming.
I figured.
You have
You have a police record?
You have a police record?
Synchronicity.
I got that album. You know how I got that album? From the Columbia Record Club.
Yes.
12 for a penny.
Yeah.
But then you had to buy 10 for $20.
No, you had to buy like 3 over the next 2 years or something.
But
such
they
thing.
were expensive.
Well, and they would send them to your.
Oh, yeah, you had to tell them no.
Yeah, they automatically sent it to your house. That was the scam. You had to. They had like a monthly album.
Yeah.
And if you didn't deny the claim.
Oh, right. Yeah, the scam was you had to literally
you had to tell them,
no.
please don't send this to
they go
me.
through 5,000 different
Or
channels.
they would, or they would send you
every month.
It's like getting out of a gym contract.
Yeah.
I just want to quit
But
the gym.
it turns out it's actually it was a pretty good scam because they had thousands and thousands and thousands of these extra records just sitting in a warehouse with nothing. Right after they had its run, they had all these extra records. What are you supposed to do with them? So they put them in a warehouse and just gave them away for a penny, and they forced everybody to then buy the latest album.
So there was Columbia House, and then there was BMG. I belonged to both of them.
Oh, nice.
And then you bought one album a year and for $20, which was way expensive. And they never had an album like you wanted. They were like 6 months behind.
Right, yeah, because after they stopped selling in the store, it was like
it was like overstock?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's exactly what it was. Yeah.
So if like the new Bruce Springsteen, if Born in the USA came out, you had to wait 6 months before you could get it.
And so and some of them, I mean, they had like year-old albums, 2-year-old albums, 3-year-old albums that were obviously in a warehouse somewhere, not moving, and so somebody got the great idea.
Well, twice a year they used to have what they call a delete sale in Jackson, Missouri. And it was the old BMI plant where they pressed, and so it would BMI, and so it would be like Capitol Records and a couple other, like the Beatles and the Pink Floyd. Anyway, you could go in twice a year, bring a canned good. Every CD in the warehouse was $3, no matter what. And there was no class, they weren't shelved in any order or anything. It was just boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of CDs. So you just go in and be like, these real audio files.
Right. Yeah.
But after a while, it was like, Dad, I can't. I have a headache. It's too much.
It was like somebody said, go into the ice cream store and have everything you want.
Exactly. Like a wood. Yeah. If you went to like an exotic wood place, or you know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah. Can I get that napkin?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Can I get the whole box?
It's a Kleenex.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go. There we go.
I didn't see you at the
Kleenex.
Penn show. Did our paths just cross as we were?
So I was there, but that was the weekend I went on vacation, so I had to get in and get out.
And he got new cartridges that are
Well,
leaking.
that's what made me ask the question about the Penn show. It was pretty good this year too, wasn't it? Did
She
you notice
loved
it
it.
expanded?
Yes, it expanded. What are you talking-
I mean, like it's getting so big. Like it kind of was taking over more of the chalet, if you will.
Rose believes it's going to be too big for the chalet soon.
Well, so you talk to that lovely woman, and she tells you it ain't going to get any bigger than that. She's at the
Ann?
Oh,
yeah.
well, it seemed bigger than last
Well,
year.
I talked to the vendors, and they all love coming here. They have such a great time. They said, it's our favorite tour on the tour stop, and they sell it. I tried to get my pen fixed. They had like a grinder, somebody who like grinds down the nibs of the pen. And I'm like, can I, and she's like, well, yeah, put your name on the list. And I was like, sure. And I was like, I have about an hour. She's like, oh, no, honey. She's like, I got 200 people ahead of you.
Honey.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, wow.
That was what my grandmother said when she meant to say no.
Oh, honey.
Oh, honey.
Oh, honey, no. She goes, oh, honey, no. Look, here. You'll be 214. And I was like, oh,
Here's your number.
never mind. Okay.
You're not special.
Let me try and solve this problem some other way, because this ain't cutting it. All right, coming up on the show today, Jordana Miller is going to be joining us from Jerusalem. She'll join us in about 9 minutes or so. The latest as this war now picks up and the strait closed again, and all sorts of shenanigans going on. Shannon Kingston has the issue of President Trump wanting to put a 20% toll on all the goods that go by. And then he said, wait, no, never mind. We don't want to do that. We want to do something else. So Shannon Kingston's got that whole story. Peter Harlambo is going to be joining us. Todd Blanche is going to have confirmation hearings on the Hill today. And there's going to get into all sorts of controversy with that. Rich Frankel's got the story of Supreme Court justices testifying yesterday to the threats. Do you know that each Supreme Court justice has anywhere from 4 to 8 security people at any given time?
Man.
Yeah, it's getting
Like,
ugly.
is that Secret Service?
Security. Yeah, some type of security. We'll get into that with Rich Frankel, special FBI agent. Randy Carricker. Man, what a dud of an All-Star game last night.
Jordan Walker struck out.
Total dud of an All-Star game. National League got 3 hits. 4-0 was the final. American League wins it. We'll check in with Randy, talk about the second half of the Cardinal season. And then there's a new book out. Again, nobody does more for local authors than we do, and we are proud of it. Former theater reviewer for the Riverfront Times, Dennis Brown, is going to be joining us to talk about the the name of his book is Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater.
It's a collection of 77 of his reviews that were in the RFT.
How about that? Yeah, you can read the new one at the RF. Oh no, wait a minute, no, you can't read the new one.
There was a Twitter feed that said RFT Daily that came up in my feed the other day, and I don't know, and it was current news.
Really?
Yeah. So someone must have bought that.
Well, that's not. No, you could just do
Named
RFT Daily, and yeah,
it had the old logo though.
You could. I mean, there are no rules anymore. You can steal from other people apparently online.
Did you have the RFT when it had like the back page but the street talk thing too? Like there was just a time period when it was like the coolest thing ever, and then it kind of, as it got older, I just don't remember when it was. They had really cool cover art and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no,
it went through different phases.
Yeah. It was a thing. There's no. Yeah. I mean, it was a total
Savage
thing.
Love and
yeah, all that.
People would, yeah. No.
You would wait every Thursdays, right, or something?
Oh, it was
every restaurant had one.
Phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody should do a book about the history of RFT, and then with the passing of Ray Hartman, that guy was part of the cultural zeitgeist of St. Louis for years and years and years.
And they had a media column also.
They had also. I mean, it was the real deal back when. Like people actually read and cared about their community, and
when was that?
Weren't just all caught up in
80s.
What's going on in Washington D.C. and we loved our fellow man and all sorts of things when we had a local community before the phone came along and solved all of our problems.
Right.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, no accidents or slowdowns on the roads right now, but it's another day of construction with lane closures in the Metro East, and that will continue through July 30th. We have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmount, and there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Night of Movies this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've got more typical hot July days ahead. Wednesday starts with a low of 73, then a high of 91. The heat index around 95, so you'll notice the humidity. Slim chance for a stray thundershower in the afternoon to early evening. Better chances are well south of St. Louis. In fact, our rain chances do increase Thursday, though. About 50% chance for some scattered showers and storms during the afternoon to evening and then fading as the sun sets. Otherwise, a high of 90 Thursday with a heat index of 97. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk Miller Furniture because they are a family-run business. Their flagship store is in Belleville, and it's been there for 100 years now. Then they opened up Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows. Then they opened up Ellisville on Manchester Road, and then the granddaddy of them all, 55,000 square feet showroom in Fairview Heights. They took over the weekends only. And as other furniture stores go by the wayside, Miller Furniture keeps growing. There's a reason for that. They have great furniture, great pricing, great customer service, and interior designers to help you all the way along. What's great about Miller Furniture is that they've been doing it right for all these many years, and the customers have responded. You go on your phone, you look at a nice piece of furniture, you get it sent to your house, you put it together with a couple of Allen wrenches, and you sit on it, and, oh, man, that's not going to work. Then you try and send it back. Then they send you another one that's got a ding in it. It's a nightmare, right? Or you can go to Miller Furniture and buy whatever style you like, and you know it's going to be delivered right. You know it's going to be delivered with white glove service, and you know you're going to be able to use it for generations. That's why Miller Furniture is so successful, and that's why they are growing and adding locations all the time, because the customers have responded. They want quality furniture. Go in and see for yourself. Mueller. Same as cash financing, great service, great delivery, great styles and designs. And yes, they have your Stickley ready to go. Miller, Mueller, millerfurniture.com.
Celebrate National Ice Cream Day this Sunday, July 19th at all Clementine's ice cream locations. Beginning at noon, the first 50 people at each parlor receive a free limited edition t-shirt, one shirt per transaction. Come taste their new international flavors, including one-day-only Dubai chocolate and matcha lemon curd. See you at Clementine.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Shop the Midwest's largest selection of hot tub and swim spa brands at the Midwest Hot Tub Show at the St. Charles Convention Center this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Save thousands off MSRP with special show pricing. Hot tubs as low as $4,995. Check MidwestHotTubShow.com for more details. Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Bombing has continued to rain down in Iran. Iran continues to retaliate. The View from Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent in Jerusalem. All right, Jordana, set the scene. We've had a very drastic change since last week. Set the scene for us. What are they talking about in Jerusalem?
Well, we're seeing the fighting between the U.S. and Iran intensify over the last couple of days. We had strikes that CENTCOM said went on for hours overnight, hitting various military sites along Iran's coast with the Strait of Hormuz. Iran hitting back overnight. They say they struck U.S. bases in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Jordan. Those countries did say they fended off drone and ballistic missile strikes. We don't know the extent of the damage, what got through, what didn't. We can't really trust what the Iranians say. And their satellite images, we just don't have anything to kind of compare them to at this moment because the U.S. government has put so many restrictions on satellite imagery right now. So we're going to have to hold off and see how effective those Iranian strikes were. But what I think is surprising is this morning at 6 a.m. Eastern, CENTCOM announced another wave of U.S. strikes in Iran. These are the first daylight strikes we've seen since Operation Epic Fury. We're seeing reports of explosions in Shiraz, which is in central southern, the central south of the country, quite a bit inland from the coastal areas. So it looks like the United States is expanding their bank of targets against military Iranian sites. Having said that, in CENTCOM's short statement early this morning, they said they're continuing to hit military targets to degrade Iran's capability to strike commercial ships, right, in the Strait of Hormuz. That's been the aim or purpose of these strikes over the last couple of days. And we're back to that big question, which is, can increasing U.S. military pressure get Iran back to the negotiating table, get them back to make some concessions? I mean, the U.S. naval blockade has been now in place for a little bit more than 12 hours. That's also a very powerful weapon, maybe even more powerful than strikes. So we're going to have to wait and see. The president, as you know, is threatening to hit bridges and power grids next week if the Iranians don't get back to the negotiating table.
That was my next question. Was the administration makes it sound like there's nothing left to bomb, and yet they continue to find places to bomb. So militarily, when do they run out of targets, and then what do they bomb next?
Right. Well, I think that is a good point. There are still, I mean, according to the Israelis, who are not involved at this point, there's still hundreds of targets to hit in Iran. It's an enormous country, and they've had, 5 decades to build up their military prowess. And remember, even though the United States has considerably hit Iran's Navy and Air Force, they have those cheap drones and speedboats that are still wreaking havoc in the region, and they're still able to fire short-range ballistic missiles. So there's still more launching pads to get to as well. I think we heard the president yesterday throw out Pickaxe Mountain. Our listeners may not ring a bell, but that is one of Iran's secret nuclear sites that only, was really publicized over the last few months. It's a mountain close to Natanz that the Iranians have been building deep underground, another place where The Israelis suspect, and the Americans, we suspect that Iran is using to enrich more uranium or store centrifuges, store perhaps enriched material. And the president said, hey, we might hit that.
Jordana Miller, no ballistic missiles getting through to Israel. I know that was a concern early on, but it seems like they've lost the capability to get their missiles to Israel. Is that an accurate statement?
I don't think so. I think the Iranians still have the ability to hit Israel, but at this point they're choosing not to. And I think it's wise that the Iranians are not striking Israel, and that at this point it looks like President Trump is trying to keep Israel out of the fight. And I think that's for a few reasons. Number one, if Israel joins the fight, then I think we'll really be back at full-scale war. It will intensify things to a great extent. Number one. Number two, President Trump, discovered in the last joint strikes with Israel that you can start together, but you might not want to end together the war. And he may have some reservations about reeling in Israel if they come back on the scene. So I think right now, Iran still, the Israeli estimate is that the Iranians definitely still have the capability to hit Israel. They're just not doing it now.
Interesting. Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent in Jerusalem. Stay safe, and thanks for your insight, as always.
Thanks.
628 here, Big 550 KTRS. Closer to home. If you need an electrician, Baldy Electric is your go-to. 314-968-9999. Michael Baldy runs Baldy Electric, a great family man, great guy, and a great businessman. He also loves electricity. Now, when I say he loves electricity, he loves being an electrician. He fell in love when he was walking down the street and he was 12 years old and he saw an electrician and he was like, that's what I want to do. And that's exactly what he did. He opened up Baldy Electric and has a full team of electricians ready to go to help you out in any and all issues when it comes to electricity. Look, energy is a big deal. Getting it, using it, making sure it's safe, expanding it, all of that. Whether it's a TV on the wall, whether you're redoing the basement or the attic, whether it's a business that is expanding, you need electricity, you need wires, you need outlets, you need all those types of things. Let Baldy Electric help you. 314-968-9999. When you come to think of it, everybody needs an electrician on speed dial when you think about it, because once the electrician's in the house, while you're here, can you take a look at this? And then, of course, you're off and running. Baldy Electric, 314-968-9999, or Baldy, B-A-L-D-I, BaldyElectric.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Once again, here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, we are accident-free with no slow traffic right now. And checking a few drive times, it's 10 minutes from 270 and 55 up to Manchester. It will take you 9 minutes to go from 64 and McKnight to Jefferson, and just 7 minutes from 170 and St. Charles Rock Road down to 64. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
76 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS, and we are in a bit of a weather pattern here where they're not calling it the heat dome here in the St. Louis metropolitan area, but it is a bit of a heat dome up in the upper Midwest, in Michigan and the Upper Peninsula, and then New England. Man, they're calling for some serious heat waves. But here we continue with the 92 degrees, humidity up over 60, stray thunderstorm or two possible later on today, high of 92. High of 89 tomorrow with thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. And then Friday and Saturday and Sunday, more of the same. Scattered thunderstorms are possible. Highs in the upper 80s, low 90s with humidity up over 60, 65%. It is 74 right now at 6:31. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The U.S. has reimposed a naval blockade on Iran and intensified its airstrike campaign in retaliation for Tehran's attacks on ships trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian officials said Wednesday that the American strikes hit an Iranian army barracks, killed at least 7 troops, and wounded more than 260 people across the country. Keir Starmer will answer questions from lawmakers in the House of Commons for the last time today before leaving office next week. At noon, Starmer will bid farewell to the boisterous weekly Prime Minister's question sessions. In local headlines, law enforcement will launch a new anti-violence initiative in response to the mass shootings over the weekend in East St. Louis. Details of the 40 Days of Nonviolence and Beyond initiative will be unveiled during a noon press conference in East St. Louis. Meanwhile, a prayer service will be held tonight for the victims of East St. Louis shootings. It will be held at the House of Prayer to All Nations from 6 to 8 this evening. 74 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green. Online at jewelsonhampton.com.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
The tradition continues on Saturday, July 25th, when the Cardinals play the Cincinnati Reds. That day, you can take home the fan favorite Victory Blue jersey, just like the one the Cardinals wear every road Saturday, presented by Stiefel. It's a clean, classic look that stands out all season long. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Step into Saturday in Victory Blue. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Michael McGreevy. See you at Busch Stadium.
It's the GOAT! The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 due at signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Elevate your next event with STL Bartenders to Go, providing full bar packages, rental bar equipment, and bartender and server staffing. Book now and pay no sales tax with premium or bartender's choice bar packages. We'll get your party on. STLBartendersToGo.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Little Linda Ronstadt for us this morning.
80 years old today.
That's a Roy Orbison song, though.
Yes.
Yes.
Most of her songs were covers.
You know, is that right? Interesting. When I was playing baseball, they called my fastball a Roy Orbison fastball.
Why?
Because it blew by you, baby. Hey. There's that Roy Orbison again. Because it blew by you, baby.
I thought you were going to say because no one could see it.
Same. Yeah.
He wasn't blind.
I know. I just, for some reason.
It's the dark glasses.
Did he have albinism? Is that the whole like that why he wore sunglasses?
No, I think
the whites of his eyes?
No,
it was a style choice.
No, I think there was something wrong. There was something that was light sensitive or something.
Well, like the jet black, the dyed hair and all that. There was a conspiracy that it could be albinism.
What was the My Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades? No googling.
Timbuk 3.
Timbuk 3 was the name of that band?
Yes.
My Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades?
Timbuk, instead of Timbuk 2, it was one above that, Timbuk 3.
Timbuk 3. What are these names in the 80s?
No drugs involved in that.
Yeah, God love you. All right. 637 here, Big 550, KTRS. Let's get a little primer here. We've got quite a number of guests coming up here in the next couple of days. I know everyone's talking about this Amendment 5 and this Amendment 4. We have Mr. Butts is coming on tomorrow. He is running for state senator down in South City. And he will be on the show tomorrow talking about his campaign, as well as he's one of the leading, I don't know if he's an official spokesperson against Amendment 5, but he is very much against Amendment 5. So he'll be on the show talking about that. We've got a pro-Amendment 5 coming up soon. We also have...
Next week, we're going to have, in consecutive days, a pro and con on Amendment 4.
On Amendment 4, which is... that's the one that changes. It seems yesterday's show, there was, again, anecdotally, a lot of people against 4 and 5. 4 is the one that changes the threshold for citizen petitions.
Initiative petition reform.
Making it harder for citizens to have their petitions passed by the whole state. But the legislature, again, not changing their threshold, but changing the citizens' threshold. It has to be harder for the citizens to change the Constitution, but not harder for the legislature to change the Constitution, which is an odd thing to do at a time where nobody really trusts government and or institutions. That they would somehow ask the voters, hey, I know you don't trust us, but why don't you make it harder for your people to change it, but easier for us to change it? Trust us. Same with Amendment 5. Very difficult for the legislature to go to the voters and say, hey, we want to cut your taxes over here and raise your taxes over there, but we're not going to tell you how you do it. Just give us the power to do it. Again, a strange ask at a time when people don't trust elected officials and people don't trust institutions. But that's coming up here in the next couple of days because we're booking these things and getting them on. And every single time we have somebody on one side, then somebody complains, how come we don't have somebody on the other side? We do have other people on the other side. And if you miss a show for whatever reason, it's always up on KTRS.com. You can go to the show page. Carl does a great job, and everybody here does a great job of getting those things, turning them into a podcast. So for those of you who don't like radio, just call it a podcast, and then you're hip and happening, okay? So there you go. Hey, McGraw, I thought that was going to be the lead into the All-Star game last night. Apparently there was a lot of blue by you at the All-Star game, 16 strikeouts by the National League. Boring. The National League had 3 hits. It was not a fun game for the National League. Watching guys throw 102 miles an hour, striking everybody out.
And it's just like a regular game. They were only in for 1 inning.
Yeah, I don't know. Baseball's got to do something because you go back and look at a game in the 80s with Whitey Ball. There's a reason why Whitey Ball was so electric.
Small ball.
It was people were hitting the ball. There was action. There was activity. People
Stealing bases.
They were running. It was fun. Here, you're just watching some guy throw 100 miles an hour and strike out everybody.
Or somebody hits a home run.
Yeah. So I don't know how you solve that problem. They've done, they sped up the game. They did away with the shift. They've done what they can, but I don't know.
They make a minimum for pitchers.
Yeah, they've done what they can, but I don't know how you sort of solve that problem. But I'm with you. Baseball is getting a little tough to watch these days because kind of nothing's happening. It's like all of a sudden I went to a baseball game and a soccer game broke out.
Except for the flopping.
Spain beat France last night 2-0.
Yes.
On Bastille Day.
Yeah.
Kind of felt bad for France. On their Independence Day, that Spain beat them 2-0 to get the nomenclature right.
Well done.
Now they wait for England takes on Argentina,
the defending champions.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been weird if it would have been England and France in the World Cup?
Like history repeats
Right, yeah,
itself.
Are they not using swords?
Where they do
their,
reenactments? Like, that'd be actually kind of interesting. We've got a whole thing's planned for this.
Talk about a forever war, 100-year war still going on. So I don't know. That's just, I found that to be quite, I was like, wow, England, France in the World Cup. But France is out, Spain is in, and now it's England versus Argentina.
Spain was the odds-on favorite from the beginning. But then that kid, Mbatu, he was great with France, and he had a great series, except yesterday.
Yeah, so there you go with all the news there when it comes to the world of sports. Altair Travel and Cruises. This is a true story. I was at that talk radio convention last week, and they had a Colette table there. Yeah, and I walked up to the guy, Colette, and I was like, he saw my name tag, and oh, my goodness, St. Louis. Oh, we do a lot of work in St. Louis. Like, yes, you do. I'm like, we've been on a couple of tours. So we had a nice conversation. And we got talking about Altair Travel and Cruises. And this gentleman from Colette, who was in New York, kept singing the praises about Altair Travel and Cruises and how they are just a wonderful, wonderful travel agency. And they love to work with Altair Travel and Cruises. And they do a whole bunch of group trips with Colette. And I thought that was just really interesting how well respected Altair Travel is in the industry and around the country. I knew that because, well, I've been associated with them for, I don't know, a long time now, taking all sorts of trips, and I've seen the trips. I've experienced Altair Travel, but to see it firsthand from the other side, from the people in the travel industry, it was nice to see that Altair Travel representing all around the world when it comes to travel agents. So look, if you want a company you can trust, you want a company that will help you get to where you're going so you can enjoy it. Look, a lot of people say, oh, I want to take a trip to Ireland, but I don't want a tour guide. Really? Lewis and Clark had a tour guide, okay? So get over yourself. You only have limited time. You've only got to see so much. Whether it's a big group travel or a small group travel, let Altair Travel and Cruises help you. But let them help you navigate it. Maybe you get a tour guide once you're there. Maybe set up a couple of tour guides when you're going to see the Vatican so you can get in and get out and see what you want to see. The point is this, Altair Travel and Cruises. It all starts there. 314-968-9600. It does not start at Lambert. Your trip starts at Altair Travel and Cruises or altairtravel.com. St. Louis, Plaza Company traffic. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw, the roads are quiet right now. No slowdown yet on 270 North, but it is heavy at Doherty Ferry. Right now, it's a 10-minute ride from 270 and 55 up to Manchester. It will take you 9 minutes to travel from 64 and McKnight to Jefferson, and a quick 7-minute run from 170 and St. Charles Rock Road down to 64. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
from the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures back towards the lower 90s this afternoon. Seeing a few chances of some isolated showers and storms. Most of that should remain well off to the south of the metropolitan area. Then as we head off into Thursday, scattered chances of showers and storms up to a 50% chance. Highs towards the upper 80s, nearing 90 degrees. Going to be tracking that starting to push out towards the overnight hours. Friday, a 40% chance. Then into this weekend, a heat index climbing up to 100 degrees. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises, just a competitive fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
For the last 33 years, we've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is who do I hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a Banner day. Every summer, homeowners make plans, a new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool, and parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
Boom. 650 here, Big 550, KTRS. International law says you can't charge for international waters. Marco Rubio has been leading that effort, and then the President of the United States says he wants to charge in the Strait of Hormuz. Shannon Kingston, ABC News State Department. The President's all over the place on this. What is going on?
Well, as we're talking right now, the U.S. is striking Iran again. These attacks are designed to weaken the capabilities Iran has used to strike 7 commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz in just the past week or so. This is the first time we've seen the U.S. carry out daytime hour strikes against Iran since the opening days of the conflict, as it's becoming clear that this is very much a marathon, not a sprint, and there is no easy victory on the horizon.
Okay, so, the bombing continues, and it seems like the targets are expanding. They also seem to be expanding inland as well.
That's right. And the president said in an interview yesterday that he could move on to some dual-use targets. These could be infrastructure that are used for military purposes, but also perhaps civilian purposes as well, if Iran doesn't change its tune. But we know that negotiations have faltered in recent days, and the president has said that he's not interested in negotiating with Iran anymore. So this is all becoming very muddled. The end game is not at all clear right now.
Troops. President Trump floated an idea of troops.
He has gone back and forth with ideas about Karg Island, perhaps launching an operation there, but he often does say that he's got no appetite for sending in any kind of ground troops. But what has become clear is that a bunch of military options that are now back on the table. We know the president had a lengthy Situation Room meeting with his top national security advisors last night as they looked really at a variety of strategies going forward, because what has happened in the last couple of days is they've settled into this rut of carrying out strikes, but unless they can really severely degrade Iran's ability to launch drones, missiles at vessels in the Strait, it really isn't going to make a difference when it comes to that commercial waterway.
Originally, it was nuclear materials. It seems like the president and the administration is not necessarily talking about the nuclear materials and getting them and securing them in the recent days.
Well, the conflict has very much become singularly focused on the Strait of Hormuz, which was not an issue before the war began because Iran hadn't sought to impose a chokehold there. There is one nuclear site the president, or potential nuclear site the president is talking about. That's Pickaxe Mountain, and that's a site that the U.S. believes Iran wants to use to conduct nuclear operations deep under the surface of the earth. He said it's unclear if U.S. bunker buster bombs could disrupt those operations, but he said that is a potential.
He also mentioned he had the 20% fee on boats and ships that go through. He's now changed his mind and insinuated he wants Middle Eastern countries to invest in America in exchange for some type of naval assistance with the ships through the strait?
Right. In exchange for acting what he said was as the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz, he wants Gulf countries to up their already significant investments in the United States economy. But really, the issue here, the president has become very focused on finding a way to recoup some of the money spent on this very expensive war. So that's what he's looking at. But of course, throughout the conflict, Iran has talked about imposing a toll on the strait. The U.S., many other countries, the United Nations, they've all said that is illegal. You can't toll an international waterway like this one. So the president's messaging there, even though he's backtracked, that really kind of mangles the message that they've been trying to put out there.
Shannon, you mentioned there was more bombs, more missile attacks. We know we've had Iran retaliate to some of those Middle Eastern countries. But where are we in terms of the Strait of Hormuz? Are any ships getting through? Some ships getting through? What's the status there?
We are seeing some ships come through, mostly in the southern half of that waterway, the corridor near Oman. Some ships are still managing to make their way through, so it's not completely halted. But we have seen several sailors killed, injured, missing as a result of these Iranian attacks in recent days. So it all has a chilling effect as ship companies, ship insurers are going to be very hesitant to continue on. We do know that the conditions in that waterway are still rated as severely dangerous, so it's not at all the level we saw pre-war.
Yeah, nowhere near the level it was before this whole thing started. Shannon Kingston, ABC News, State Department with ABC. Shannon, thanks for checking in.
Thank you. 6:55
here, Big 550 KTRS. Yeah. So we got that going on. Gas prices are up because of the new activities in the Middle East, and so that's where we are. All right. Coming up on the show next hour, we have got Peter Harlambous, Todd Blanche, facing all sorts of grilling on Capitol Hill, whether it was the IRS slush fund or whether it was the Jeffrey Epstein survivors. He's going to be taking flack from all sides today. We'll check in with Peter Harlambous. Rich Frankel's got the latest on the Supreme Court justices testifying yesterday about security issues that they face. Amy Coney Barrett told a heartbreaking story about how she had to explain to her son why she has to wear a bulletproof vest when she goes to work. Heartbreaking, but that's the world we live in. Pretty sad stuff. 6:56 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company. St. Louis Closet Company. Jennifer Williams, what are you doing? I was talking to somebody the other day, lived in a beautiful house, but back in the 60s, they didn't believe in closet space the way they do today. And so they said we had to call St. Louis Closet Company to have them come out and get it done. And they said, thank goodness, because they invent space that really isn't there. They're able to take every inch, every nook, every little space, alcove, and turn it into usable space. That's what they're good at, and that's why they've been doing this for 30-plus years. They've got new colors. They've got new accessories. They now added LED lighting, which just makes it look just that much sweeter. Whether it's a big walk-in closet or you live in a house with very limited closet space, you need St. Louis Closet Company to come in and solve all of your problems, whether it's kids' rooms, pantries, entertainment centers. Murphy beds is a big one as well. St. Louis Closet Company, 314-781-9000, 314-781-9000. Check out the showroom just north of Manchester Road on Big Bend, or you can certainly go and look at the 6 million pictures on their website. But before you do anything, one, make sure it's St. Louis Closet Company. Don't be fooled by going with those out-of-towners. And then two, I would recommend going to the showroom. The showroom is fun. You can get all sorts of great ideas from the showroom. And then have that free in-home estimate so you can really get a sense of what it would look like in your house. 314-781-9000 or stlouisclosetco.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company, Traffic Center.
McGraw, the roads are quiet right now. No slowdown yet on 270 North. It's a 10-minute ride from 270 and 55 up to Manchester. It will take you 9 minutes to go from 5570 in Collinsville to downtown St. Louis and 15 minutes from 270 at the Chain of Rocks Bridge to 170. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
76 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS, all the way up to mid or low 90s. You know, every time we say mid or low 90s, then in the afternoon I look down on at the temperature, and it's like 95, 96. So
mid.
They're calling for a high of 91, but the last couple of days they've been a little on the low side. Mixture of sun and clouds, maybe a stray thunderstorm or two. Humidity up over 60%, high of 91. Overnight tonight, low of 75. Humidity still up there. More of the carbon copy for Thursday, maybe a scattered thunderstorm in the afternoon. Friday, more of the same. Saturday, more of the same. We are in a pattern. It looks like none of this breaks until maybe after Monday. Right now, it is 76 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Peter Harlambous joins us. Todd Blanche wants to be your next attorney general, and he is going to face the car wash today on Capitol Hill. So we'll get into all that. Not to mention, an hour or so from now, we'll check in with Randy Carricker, talk a little sports, and what to look for the second half of this Cardinal baseball season. It is 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the talk of St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Good morning. A new threat from President Trump against Iran and vice versa. Trump setting a next Wednesday deadline.
We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
That to Fox News, Iran's threatening to stop all energy exports from the region. The latest American air attacks in an Iranian army barracks, killing at least 7 troops, wounding more than 260 people across the country, say Iranian officials. The former top lawyer at Goldman Sachs, Catherine Rumler, Also, a former Obama administration attorney faces questions about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein on Capitol Hill today. ABC's Peter Harlambous.
Rummler never represented Epstein as an attorney, though documents released in the Epstein files suggested she frequently provided him legal and public relations advice. In emails to Epstein, who she occasionally referred to as Uncle Jeffrey and compared to an older brother, Rummler thanked him for lavish gifts, got advice about her career, and lambasted lawyers representing Epstein's victims.
The troubled release of the Epstein files is expected to come up at the Senate confirmation hearing today for Todd Blanche as Attorney General. Hours after a senior ICE official wrote in an email that immigration officer traffic stops are paused immediately, President Trump posts on social media that vehicle stops cannot be suspended or the criminals win. 2 people have been killed in the vehicle stops recently in Maine and Texas. Many of the soldiers fighting for Russia in the war in Ukraine are African migrants, say POWs at a camp in western Ukraine, to ABC's Patrick Reevell.
Russia has been reluctant to declare a general mobilization, so it's not able to call on all of its huge population. Instead, it basically needs people to sign up who are willing to come for money.
Toxic air for millions. Wind is blowing heavy smoke from more than 800 wildfires in Canada and northern Minnesota into the upper Midwest and the Northeast. You're listening to ABC News.
Discover how you can make lasting summer memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're envisioning a new backyard oasis or an unforgettable family getaway, you can enjoy peace of mind with flexible, convenient funding to turn your dreams into reality. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com today to learn how you can apply for a home equity line of credit. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors build our communities. Chances are your church, school, grocery store, or gas station was built by contractors using union laborers. They take great pride in their work and accomplishments and love to go by an old project and say, I built that. The men and women of the Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors, taking pride in building our communities. Go to buildunion.com for more information. That's buildunion.com.
Meet me at the Village Bar. Ready for the world's best cheeseburger, homemade onion rings, trashed wings? It's the Village Bar for food and sports. Cards, blues, Mizzou, NFL, the game's always on. Open 7 days a week in Des Peres. Grab your friends, grab a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
.72 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. 3 juveniles are being charged in connection to the shooting death of a 16-year-old girl in Jefferson County last weekend. 2 of the teens are charged with abandonment of a corpse, while a third faces multiple charges, including involuntary manslaughter, all under the juvenile code. Members of the Missouri Wing of Civil Air Patrol U.S. Air Force Auxiliary are assisting the American Red Cross with damage assessments in several southern Missouri counties affected by recent extensive flooding. Ground teams are evaluating areas in Crawford, St. Francis, and Washington counties. The city of St. Louis has settled a $35,000 lawsuit brought by Board of Aldermen President Megan Green after she was tear gassed by police during a 2017 protest. The lawsuit is centered around a protest in the Central West End on September 15th of 2017 that happened after former St. Louis police officer Jason Stockley was acquitted of a first-degree murder charge in the shooting death of Anthony Lamar Smith. Green says she and the law firm that represented her will donate every dollar from the settlement to Invest STL, a nonprofit helping St. Louis residents in tornado recovery. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department released a statement on the lawsuit settlement. Quote, while the city of St. Louis chose to settle and give tens of thousands of dollars to the aldermanic president, an elected official, it should not diminish the bravery, sacrifice, and professionalism of the officers who faced life-threatening violence that night. We stand by the brave men and women who risked their lives to serve St. Louis, end quote. Missouri has a new tool aimed at helping find missing people with developmental disabilities. The Purple Alert Bill was signed into law yesterday. The measure calls for an alert similar to an Amber Alert, but focuses instead on finding people with developmental disabilities. Work continues on the Improve I-70 project with a new phase coming soon. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has more. An Italian pasta maker connected to the St. Louis World Fair plans to open its first ever location in the U.S. in St. Charles. The company, Bertani, wants to open in a former pizza crust manufacturing facility along Millstone Parkway. The plant was shuttered when General Mills closed the plant this year as part of a wave of closures elsewhere in Missouri. Bertani is considered the oldest filled pasta manufacturer in Italy and makes a wide variety of tortellini and ravioli. One of those pasta recipes received a gold medal at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs, and you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. 72 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Oh, man. Wait till the people find out about this thing.
St. Charles, is there going to do a moratorium on all Italian pasta stuffers?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the disaster this thing's going to bring. It's a pasta maker company. It's a manufacturer that makes pasta. Am I reading this right?
That's correct.
Do you know how much water those places use? I mean, what's the environmental impact of the water? It's an outrage.
Why aren't they on the hill?
Well, I'm surprised that St. Charles is they seem to be kiboshing everything.
Well, not only that,
we don't want anything.
I mean, they're talking now. First, the plant, according to the Post-Dispatch story, the plant had 163 jobs. The old plant,
because this was the old General.
That's right, the
General
old General Mills
right?
plant, right?
Okay.
So they're repurposing that. Mm-hmm. So they lost 163 jobs. This apparently they plan to initially hire 70 people. Not a lot of jobs, but they plan on employing 200 people. That's 40 more jobs than the old plant. The traffic alone is going to be a disaster.
And it's going to, this Italian food's going to bring all the riffraff from all over the place, like ravioli.
Forget that for a second. So we've got the water issues, which is a nightmare. We've got the traffic problem is a nightmare. Not to mention, where are these people going to live? That's going to put more of a strain on the infrastructure.
I hear they want to get apartments in Ladue.
Oh, no, they want to get apartments in St. Charles. No, you can't have that. Wait a minute. Do you know how much electricity these people are going to use? Not to mention the plant to make pasta, all the electricity. Do you know what that means? That means my electric bill is going to go up.
I know, and I hear they like to read books in the library that have illustrations.
And then lastly, do you know how much money St. Charles is giving them in tax abatements? $35 million in tax abatements. So let's do the math here. Since I don't do very well with math live on the air.
I was told there'd be no math.
$35 million divided by 200.
A lot.
St. Charles is paying $175,000 an employee to make an average of $60,000 a year.
And this is
so which is it? Which is it? Is this good for economic development or is it bad for economic development? And if this is good for economic development, why is a data center bad for economic development? And I would argue, let's put a moratorium on all Italian pasta makers in St. Charles to be able to study this a little more. This has been fast-tracked.
For further study.
I didn't know this was happening. No, we didn't even know who the company was until the very end, right? All of a sudden now they spring this on us. There's been no input. There's been no community involvement. This is an outrage.
And it's a manufacturer, so it's not retail.
And it's not retail.
Well, in all seriousness, is that the fact that it was an already established warehouse situation that they're just trying to put a new business in it? That it's like,
if it's such a great company, why do they need our tax dollars? Why do they need a tax abatement? And the original place had 163 jobs. This is now they're saying they're going to have 200 jobs, which is going to cause all sorts of problems for traffic.
Will they be supplying the local Italian restaurants with their delicious
I don't know.
filled pasta?
But they're paying $175,000 for a job. The tax dollars are paying $175,000, and the employees are getting $60,000. So which is it? Which is it, St. Louis? Which is it, St. Charles?
St. Charles.
Which is it, St. Charles? You don't want data centers, but you do want pasta makers.
That liberal state of New York has just banned statewide So we want to be like New York now, I guess.
Those liberals. Those woke liberals.
New York State's the first state to ban it statewide.
Those woke liberals.
So that's
to ban what?
we are.
Data centers?
Yeah.
Data centers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, obviously I'm being facetious or satirical or whatever you want to say.
Tongue-in-cheek.
But what's the difference? An Italian pasta maker's got a much better image than a data center. But all the problems they bring up with the data centers, I could bring up with this pasta maker company.
Well, do they get a say? Since when does communities don't get a say for every tiny business that gets put up in their community, right?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Like the community doesn't get alerted to every time a new business comes into the community, right? Like they're not having town halls like when they were announcing Bertani is becoming, you know what I mean? Like data
if they
centers.
Want a liquor license.
I want to know if this guy's related to Dan Borgmeyer or not. What's going on there? From the Country Club Car Wash text line, St. Charles, watch out, mocking St. Charles, please. We all like Steve Ellman, and you're kind of putting a nail in his coffin. This is St. Charles City, not St. Charles County. St. Charles County, St. Charles City already banned data centers, and sort of they kicked this whole thing off. So there you go. St. Charles is about to build 40 tiny homes for the homeless unhoused in the community to provide shelter. Well, that can't be. You and Rose make your uneducated jokes about data centers and water and electricity pretty sad. No, they're not uneducated.
They were jokes.
Well, one, they were jokes, but two, I defy anybody to give me or send me a credible study that says data centers are any more environmentally unfriendly than any other business. They don't contaminate the water. They use electricity just like every other business. They use higher energy. Yes, they do. No question about it. But so does a pasta making business. Everybody uses electricity. It's an issue. Electricity bills are already going up.
And I'm only too because St. Charles seems to be continuously putting moratoriums on everything. Like that's what you know what I mean? Like it just seems like they're always in the news for not wanting things.
Yes, except for a pasta maker. And one of the other things was, why are they using our tax dollars? Well, they're using, what did I say, $35 million to bring this company to St. Charles City. So, which is it? Are we supposed to incentivize these companies to come, or are we not? Or are we supposed to pick and choose which companies we give the economic development to or not? Because seems like a data center would be a good thing because it's going to generate some serious tax revenue. So, look, I'm all for this pasta plant coming to St. Charles City. I think it's a wonderful idea. I think it's really good, and it's a feather in St. Charles's cap for all sorts of reasons. And yeah, you hate to give economic tax abatement. You hold your nose and do it because, they're pitting St. Louis against, Columbus, Ohio. And so you got to sort of incentivize them. I get it. You hold your nose and do it. But we pick and choose. So anyway, that was my two thoughts on this news story. St. Louis Classic Company traffic. Here once again is Scott and Paul.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. No accidents or slow traffic. It is another day of construction with lane closures in the Metro East, which will cause slowdowns later this afternoon. We have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. And there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
from the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've got more typical hot July days ahead. Wednesday starts with a low of 73, then a high of 91. The heat index around 95, so you'll notice the humidity. Slim chance for a stray thundershower in the afternoon to early evening. Better chances are well south of St. Louis. In fact, our rain chances do increase Thursday, though. About 50% chance for some scattered showers and storms during the afternoon to evening and then fading as the sun sets. Otherwise, a high of 90 Thursday with a heat index of 97. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Larry Thornton and windows, because if you need windows, you need to talk to my neighbor, Larry Thornton. Opened in 1988. That's a lot of years since the window store has been around. And the reputation is, well, it's etched in stone. It's stellar. They work with builders, they work with contractors, they work with homeowners, they work with anybody and everybody. So if you're looking for windows or doors, Larry Thornton or Son Joe are your go-to. Why? First of all, they're North County strong. They know everybody you know. Give them 1 or 2 degrees of step. Give Larry Thornton 5 minutes. He'll find somebody who you know. And it's really quite enjoyable to talk to him. He does a great job. And they don't worry about trying to eke out every penny of profit. They do very well. They don't have any layers of middle management. And so they're able to charge you a much more reasonable price for windows and doors. And whether it's the style, the design, the customer service, the installation, I'd put them up against everybody else in town. No high-pressure sales. They'll shake your hand. They'll give you a bid. They hope to hear from you. And the truth is they're too busy running around town putting in windows and doors to really worry about trying to squeeze an extra nickel or a dime out of you. Very reasonably priced, great customer service, St. Louis through and through. The Window Store, 314-739-0002. Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, Dad, we're hearing a lot of this. Tell the kids. The kids are unaware. They don't know. Let them in on a little secret. If they're looking for windows and doors, the Window Store, wswindow.net.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
It's the GOAT! The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to its signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
Peter Harlambus, ABC News, joins us. Todd Blanche. Peter, set a little primer for us. I suspect Todd Blanche is going to get quite a bit of a grilling today on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. This is going to be a very long day for Todd Blanche, and he's going to be having to walk a tightrope for basically the entirety of this confirmation hearing, in that he can only lose one Republican vote in order for his nomination to advance to the full Senate. He can only lose 2 votes in the Senate. That's in part because of Mitch McConnell's absence, taking away one important vote. The sudden death of Lindsey Graham also complicates things, even though his sister has been confirmed and is likely to vote for Blanche. She doesn't wield the same kind of influence that Lindsey Graham had. And at this point, Blanche is going to face a lot of skepticism today, asked questions everything from this anti-weaponization fund to the alleged weaponization of justice with all of these allegedly politicized prosecutions, and also his handling of the Epstein files.
Where's Tom Tillis? Where's John Cornyn in all of this?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned those two, because they're really the two critical votes when it comes to the actual Senate Judiciary Committee. Cornyn has basically said that he wants to do the right thing here, but he wants to make sure that Todd Blanche is going to be the Attorney General for all Americans and not just Trump's lawyer. In particular, he raised concerns about this whole anti-weaponization fund. Tom Tillis shares that same concern. He's basically said that his vote will depend on the degree to which Todd Blanche is willing to say explicitly that fund is not moving forward. Again, Blanche has said that in the past. He said that this fund is not going to happen, but for whatever reason, they've declined to put that in writing, and specifically, they've declined to give a firm answer when asked about alternative ways that they might pay January 6ers, for example, through these kind of civil settlements that a lot of January 6 defendants are applying for.
Susan Collins is up for re-election. She's in a bit of a pickle with this ICE shooting up in Maine. You got Lisa Murkowski. You got Rand Paul. I mean, there is a gambit. Any of those signaling there might be trouble?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Susan Collins has basically said she's not made a decision yet on Todd Blanche. She wants to see what comes out of this hearing, not necessarily a reassuring sign. Lisa Murkowski, she's someone who's vulnerable here as well, and she's basically said that she wants to see how this goes. We even saw Todd Blanche make a trip up to Alaska earlier this month to make some inroads in terms of that vote. But, you know, this adds to this number of Republicans who are kind of on the fence. And the fact that they can only lose 2 votes, I mean, that's a pretty small margin of error for Todd Blanche.
And, you know, a lot of people talking about the Epstein survivors who are very much against this, but this comes in the backdrop of these 2 ICE shootings back-to-back, one in Houston and one in Maine. And I'm sure he's going to get all sorts of questions about how the Justice Department is going to investigate those 2 crimes.
Exactly, especially because we saw such controversial actions in response to the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minneapolis, where we didn't really see any semblance of a real federal investigation. This certainly does not help Todd Blanche. The fact that these shootings have happened timing-wise, the fact that you have Susan Collins in a pretty vulnerable position politically, and Donald Trump, for his part, is not making life any easier for Todd Blanche. Earlier this morning, he kind of came out with a statement on Truth Social, basically saying that I should go forward with their standard policies, including these car stops, something that just yesterday we thought were going to be temporarily paused in the aftermath of these deaths. So, you know, even though that's more of a DHS policy, the Department of Justice is still deeply involved in the enforcement of federal law, and he's expected to face criticism on that issue as well.
Explain how Lindsey Graham's sister and her being appointed is somehow not. I mean, what? How does that hurt Todd Blanche today?
Yeah, it does 2 big things. First, Lindsey Graham was an important member of the Judiciary Committee. His sister, while she's been sworn in, is no longer on that committee for now. She doesn't take up his leadership position, his appointments, so she doesn't have the same vote, making the margin of error on the committee itself smaller. One Republican opposing him would basically kill his nomination. And then on top of that, Lindsey Graham historically has been a pretty ardent defender of President Donald Trump's nominees, someone who could sway votes, convince his colleagues to move in different directions. And he's just not going to be there in that kind of capacity at this point, even though his sister wields his vote. So yes, it's a vote for Todd Blanche from his sister, but she's not going to be able to wield the same kind of influence that her brother had. And combined with the absence of Mitch McConnell, someone who can also sway votes, it really just makes the margin of error for Todd Blanche really small. You can only lose 2 Republican votes for his nomination to get sunk.
Interesting. And we expect high drama, and we know how these hearings go. These senators, they love the spotlight, and they love to sort of cut things up. So we're expecting quite a bit of high drama today on Capitol Hill. Peter Harlambous, ABC News. Good stuff. Thanks for the primer.
Thanks so much.
727 here, Big 550 KTRS, closer to home. Lordo's Diamonds. Necklaces, earrings, bracelets. It's a diamond store. It's like having an uncle in the diamond business. When I was a kid, there was a great commercial about a jeweler in New York, and it was like having an uncle in the diamond business. Lordo's, Jimmy and Mike, it's like having an uncle in the diamond business. Right? Go in and see Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Mike. They will take care of you. Go in there, tell them who you are, tell them how you heard about them, and then tell them what you need, and they'll make it happen. Lordo's Diamonds. Yes, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, everything is certified, so you have the lineage and the quality and the assurances of knowing that the diamond and the jewel is sort of the lineage of it, so you don't rest assured that it's not comes from some nefarious area or something. And then, of course, they repurpose things, they fix things. It's not just ladies' jewelry, it's men's watches, men's rings, all sorts of things at Lordo's Diamonds. In the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road, right across the street from the Ladue Firehouse, right where Truffles is, right there, Lordo's Diamonds. They learned the business from their dad, and they've been doing and selling jewelry for 70 years. 314-432-8008. So go see your uncle in the diamond business, Lordo's or lordosdiamonds.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. No accidents or slow traffic. We do have a stalled vehicle on 270 North at Gravois, and it's another day of construction with lane closures in the Metro East, which will cause slowdowns this afternoon. We have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont, and there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. If the severe storms have you saying, oh, hail, bring your car, truck, SUV, or van to Dents Express for a free hail damage repair evaluation. Dents Express will have your ride looking like new again, and they'll even take care of the insurance paperwork. That's Dents Express at dentsexpressstl.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
77 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Again, we are in a pattern. We're stuck in a Xerox machine. It's been carbon copy for the last week or so. It will continue to be. High upper 80s, low 90s, high humidity, maybe a stray thunderstorm along the way. Today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Monday. This won't break until maybe Tuesday of next week. 77 officially right now. At 7:29, let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Astronomers had discovered a faint new world orbiting a young star after more than a decade of cosmic hide-and-seek. In an unusual twist, 2 teams working independently discovered the planet a few days apart late last year using different telescopes. And there will be no turning back the clock if the House has its way. The House passed a bill Tuesday that would make daylight saving time permanent. Proponents argue the bill would provide more daylight during the times that Americans are most active. In local headlines, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis and local churches are set to announce an emergency gun lock giveaway in an effort to help reduce gun violence. The initiative comes in response to recent incidents of gun violence involving children in the St. Louis area. More information will be released during a morning news conference. And Illinois health officials are revealing new numbers on the parasitic illness that is spreading across the country. The Illinois Department of Public Health reports as of yesterday, there have been 216 confirmed cases of cyclosporiasis in the state. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. Currently 74 degrees. Time now is 7:30. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals. Jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green. Online at jewelsonhampton.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Ask any designer, and they'll tell you lighting is key. It's Heidi, and you can completely transform your home with Nora Lighting, which is available at my go-to store, Metro Lighting. From recessed to under cabinet lighting, Nora helps brighten every corner beautifully. Visit Metro Lighting St. Louis area showrooms to explore all the Nora Lighting solutions, or check them out online at metrolightingcenters.com.
For the first time in a generation, the World Cup is back on North American soil. From St. Louis City SC to the global stage, there's never been a more exciting time to be a soccer fan in the Lou. Just like a championship team needs a game plan, your retirement deserves one too. At Means Financial Group, we help individuals and families build retirement strategies designed for confidence and clarity. Learn more at meansfinancialgroup.com. Means Financial Group. Planning for what retirement means to you.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, what? No Linda Ronstadt songs this morning? We played it earlier in the morning. We played Roy Orbison's Blue Bayou, the Linda Ronstadt version of it. So there you go. She's 80 years old today.
There will be more.
Oh, all right, there you go. Let's talk to Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge, FBI. There was some pretty scary testimony from the Supreme Court justices yesterday on Capitol Hill about the threats to them and their family. Rich Frankel, it was pretty scary to hear first-person accounts from Kagan and Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah, this was actually the first time since 2019, I think, that the Supreme Court justices, any of them, have testified before Congress. And they came together to discuss the threats to them, to other justices of the court, to the court itself, and also the cybersecurity issues affecting the court now and asking for a dramatic increase in funding. But it appears that Congress is very open to this issue because of the description of the threat by the justices.
Yeah, Amy Coney Barrett told a story about how she had to explain to her son why she wears a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, you had that one. You had another story. Yeah, well, we've known that there was a threat to actually assassinate Justice Kavanaugh at one point. There have been swatting incidents at one of the justices' homes. There have been what appear to be fake deliveries or threatening deliveries of some type to some of the homes. And there also have been demonstrations at the homes, which, while they have not turned violent, local law enforcement did have to get called in. And all this is going on when the protection of the justices has gone from the U.S. Marshals to the Supreme Court Police, which is a separate, police organization that protects the courthouse and has done so for many years, but now has taken over the additional duties of protecting all the justices, but without a large increase in funding and personnel. And so that's why I think you're seeing that request, as well as the request for cybersecurity and the request to protect the courthouse itself, in that it's probably one of the only places in D.C. that does not have a separate facility to screen visitors and packages before they actually enter into the iconic building, the Supreme Court.
That's crazy to me that, you have more security going into City Hall here in St. Louis than apparently you do going into the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I think some people were always of the opinion you should keep the Supreme Court as open as possible to the public because of its, what it is and what it represents. But that being said, you also have to be aware of the times, the heightened threat issues, the extremists from all areas threatening terrorist activity. And so, while you put this up and make additional security, it's not keeping people out of the courthouse. It's just giving them additional time to screen and to potentially find something that could threaten the Supreme Court justices before they enter into the courthouse itself.
I also thought it was interesting that, 4 Secret Service or 4 security people are assigned to each justice, but they want to increase that because of all of these threats.
Yeah, if you actually look at a manpower chart on this type of thing, 4 is usually actually not enough. It's not even a bare minimum because, they would be going anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. People have days off, so you're only working 5 days a week. If somebody's sick, etc., there are a host of things that could cause, the drop-off in the amount of people actually protecting a justice. So usually you're more at the 10 to 12 person per justice if you want to cover them for a significant amount of time. And it really just comes down to manpower issues and making sure that you have a team that understands the justice, knows their residents, knows their kind of idiosyncrasies, so that when they are working with them, they keep them protected to the highest degree possible. Kind of like how the Secret Service handles, the president, or the U.S. Capitol Police handle, several members of Congress.
Yeah. Also drones, right? Whether drones protecting the homes or drones sort of scaring or threatening the justices as well, right? It's a whole new threat level today than it was years ago.
Correct. And even week to week, in my opinion, because the drone technology is changing so fast, how they're operated, what protections there are, how they can kind of hide that, while the civilian or, not law enforcement drones, their technology is increasing every day. And so therefore the drones handled by law enforcement or the anti-drone technology handled by law enforcement has to increase at that same rate. You don't want to be behind the 8 ball. Law enforcement is always kind of slow to change technology once they get something that works. But with drone technology, I really see that you have these departments that are now having people specifically assigned just to learn the drones and keep them up to date on almost a weekly basis.
Rich Franco, former special agent in charge FBI in New York and with ABC News. Rich, thanks for checking in.
Thank you. Have a great day.
740. Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool, and parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Shop the Midwest's largest selection of hot tub and swim spa brands at the Midwest Hot Tub Show at the St. Charles Convention Center this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Save thousands off MSRP with special show pricing. Hot tubs as low as $4,995. Check MidwestHotTubShow.com for more details.
In soccer, a guaranteed win is rare. But in real estate, Gloria Lou makes it happen.
Sell with certainty this summer with Gloria Lou at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. While the world's best score on the field, Gloria scores and sells for you this summer. Her summer upfront guarantee. Gloria will sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Celebrate National Ice Cream Day this Sunday, July 19th at all Clementine's ice cream locations. Beginning at noon, the first 50 people at each parlor receive a free limited edition t-shirt, 1 shirt per transaction. Come taste their new international flavors, including one day only Dubai chocolate and matcha lemon curd. See you at Clementine.
The World Cup is here, and for a team to survive, they need a good defense. If you've been hurt in a crash or on the job, call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314-all-threes. The choice of lawyer is important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Hey St. Louis, whether it be auto, home, life, or business insurance, Alexander Hinton has you covered as a trusted insurance agent of the Big 550 KTRS. Get a quote today with Alexander Hinton and American Family Insurance. Keep your insurance agent local, not managed by a call center, and speak to the same person every time you call.
Save now by calling 314-205-2050. That's 314-205-2050.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You've spent years building your retirement savings. How do you turn those savings into income that you can rely on? Hear more on the Financial Safari with local trusted advisor Greg Belger, Sundays at 5 p.m., right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS, St. Louis.
7:44, 44 minutes after 7 o'clock, 16 minutes to 8 o'clock. Good morning this morning. 7:20, 20 after 7. I love that in Howard Stern's movie. Say the time and the temp twice an hour, no matter what. So my grandmother fell down the stairs and broke her hip. 7:44, 42 degrees. So she's lying there in pain. That movie is so good. 7:45 here. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, no accidents, but 270 north is now heavy from 44 up to Manchester. In Flint Hill, north of Wentzville, 61 south is congested from State Highway P to the 6470 interchange, and 64 east slows down around 170. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures back towards the lower 90s this afternoon. Seeing a few chances of some isolated showers and storms. Most of that should remain well off to the south of the metropolitan area. Then as we head off into Thursday, scattered chances of showers and storms up to a 50% chance. Highs towards the upper 80s, nearing 90 degrees. Going to be tracking that starting to push out towards the overnight hours. Friday, a 40% chance. Then into this weekend, a heat index climbing up to 100 degrees. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
The culmination of the summer of soccer is upon us. But before the title match in New York, the Big 550 KTRS presents our championship game preview show. Friday night, July 17th at 6. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. Also brought to you by Milo's Bocce Garden, Together Credit Union, Vengel's Restaurant and Bar, Fisher and Fritchell Homes, and Spas and More STL on the Big 550.
Tune in weekly to the Frank and Jill Show to catch the new Legal Eagle segment featuring renowned attorney Travis Noble of Travis Noble Attorneys at Law.
Every week, Travis will join the show for an entertaining segment focusing on legal stories.
And news right here on the Big 550.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Choose Pella of St. Louis for window and door replacement to help enhance your home. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
It's like an upright. Boom, 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 boom. She's young. Yeah.
A lot of people talking about the seniors who refuse to get off the stage, if you will, when it comes to elected officials. The number of members age 70 or older in each congressional cycle. You ready for this? Of the 100 senators, how many of them are over the age of 70 in this cycle?
How many are over the
age of 70? Yeah.
All of them except 5.
No, that would be wrong.
I saw the Jon Stewart thing, so I'm not going to answer.
37.
I was going to say 37.
37. Of the 435 House members, how many of them are over 100? Excuse me.
Whoa.
Over 70. I kind of gave it away.
100.
Yeah.
Yes.
99.
Yes.
99. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
You think?
Democrats are at 60. House Democrats are over the age of 70. In the House, it looks like Republicans are at just about 40. In the Senate, you've got Democrats at about 20, and you've got Republicans dipped a little bit there, about, they'll be about 17 or so. So there you go. Equal opportunity offenders.
How young can you be?
25 to run for Congress.
Whoa, really?
35 to run for the President of the United States.
And
it's in the
30 for
Constitution.
Senate.
It's in the Constitution, but if apparently there are no more rules anymore, so some good lawyer can have you elected when you're 17. So I'm sure that's the deal. But yeah,
so it's 25, 30, and 35.
I thought it was 25 and 35.
But there's 30 for Senate.
Really?
Yeah.
That was 25.
And when's the last
I'm
time those have
gonna
ever been?
double-check that.
Was that like in the like in
That's
17?
when they wrote it down.
When they wrote it.
Yeah, when they wrote it down.
Oh,
yeah.
things have
Back in the olden days. Yeah.
But wait, the life expectancy then was like in 1775. So it was like 50. Yeah, like.
E. Jean Carroll got paid $5.6 million.
Woo-hoo!
She's also up for a bigger payday after the second round of, I want to say the second round is like $80-something million. So President Trump had to put it in some type of escrow account, interest bearing. I wonder if she gets the interest too on all that.
It's her money.
Yeah.
Yes, it is House 25, Senator 30, President 35.
Okay, all right.
What's the second round of her? What is that?
84?
So she sued and won. All right, sued him for being libeled for sexual assault and then defaming her.
Okay.
She won. The jury awarded her $5.6 million. And then he said some things, and she brought another case saying, stop defaming me, sued him again.
Oh, after he lost.
And after the first one, and then she sued him again civilly. And the jury came back and said, yes, you defamed her, and then awarded her like $80-something million. That was put into some type of holding pattern while it works its way up to the Supreme Court. And so some more rulings on that. But, it seems like if he lost the first one, probably a pretty good chance he'll lose the second one. So he might be on the hook for paying her $80-something million the second go-around. So... let's see here. You mentioned this, the New York governor, the first state to put a statewide moratorium on data centers. At the same time, that story in the Wall Street Journal yesterday of that town in Pennsylvania. What was it? Was it how many farmers sold 1,700 acres for $500 million to Blackstone or Black Group to build data centers? Man, how'd you like to live in a state where someone wants to give you $20 million for your farm on your failing hog farm? Here's $20 million. Okay, sorry, can't do it.
Well, let's pretend it wasn't even failing. Let's pretend this is like the family farm that's been in the family for hundreds of years, and it's doing really well. But then they come in and they offer you more money than it's
right. But that's not my decision to make. That's the person who owns the farm.
Well, that's what I mean. Like would if that was yours? Like it's one thing that was failing, or people are like, I would never sell my farm. It's in the family. Well, for $22 million, I would. You know what I mean? Like, are there people like, no,
anything's for sale?
Well, and forget the family farm. How about the family house that you grew up in?
Right. Well, all that. Right. We'll put everything with the most sentimental value you can possibly think of.
Yeah.
But I guess everything does.
I mean, I drove by Grandma's house the other day, and no one's lived there for 30 years, or no Millhaven's lived there for 30 years. And you're like, oh, that's Grandma's house. Why is somebody else living in? Why would they put those shutters on Grandma's house? That doesn't work.
Yeah,
it hasn't been our house.
Your house, right?
Hasn't been your house for 30 years. I wish that more. I know people have done this. I could never do this. Go up and knock on a door and say, hi, I used to live here as a kid. Can I come in and see the house?
Oh, has anyone ever done that to you? And you'd be like, no, and slam the door.
Nobody did that to me, but they were looking at when I was living in the Shaw neighborhood, there was this lovely old lady that was looking at the house. And I was like, can I help you? She's like, I grew up in this house as a kid. I was like, come on in, let me show you around. And so I showed her around. But I didn't feel threatened by this nice, sweet old lady.
She robbed you blind.
2 days later, she stole everything in my house. No.
You found one piece of mail
missing. Or she's squatting, she won't leave. Invite her over for a drink.
Right, I would love to go and knock on the door and say, hey, any chance I can come in and see my old bedroom?
Or do you want to see it at this point, knowing that other people have been in it? Like I kind of have that where it's like I drove past our old house and it's like, you know what? I think I'd rather remember what it used to be like. And like I don't want to see it now. It's different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Different people have been in it.
I don't know. I met the guy who was living in Uncle Charlie's room, and JR was like, hey, is Uncle Butchie knocking on the back window for his bets?
Do you guys carve stuff in the...
No.
Anything like that?
No, we didn't do that.
I mean, anything lasting in that house, you can go back and be like, go to that room, to the back door. There's an MM carved into it.
No, we didn't do anything like that. But it was the things they changed, and then some of the other things they didn't change, like the banister they didn't change on the and JR and I were having this argument. He's like, look, I'm like, no, that's the same banister. He's like, no, it's not. It's different. I'm like, no, look. And there was a little finial on the bottom of this banister that I could, move up and down. And I'm like, no, look, look. Remember this? And later he was like, that freaked me out because I have pictures of you as a 3-year-old or 5-year-old, a 10-year-old playing with that stupid finial. And he's like, my world just came crashing back to me. So memories are an amazing thing. And going to visit the old house. I don't know. Somebody else grew up in your room.
I know.
Yeah. 7:58. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw 270 north is heavy from 44 to Manchester. 44 west crowded around Grand. 64 east slows down at Clarkson and further east at 170. 64 west is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland. And in Flint Hill north of Wentzville, 61 south is congested from State Highway P to the 6470 interchange. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Here's a little story for you. Again, New York Times today. PJM, the nation's largest electrical grid operator. PJM, the nation's largest electrical grid operator, released results of an electricity auction. They said that would add $6.3 billion in costs to the electrical bills of millions of households and businesses over the next 3 years, an increase driven by the power demands of data centers. $6.3 billion in household energy costs for data centers. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. This morning seen the first daytime air attacks on Iran since the first 40 days of the war. The U.S. military says they hit cruise missile storage and launch sites and coastal defense systems. President Trump with a renewed threat against Iran, setting an apparent deadline of next Wednesday.
We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Iran is threatening to stop all energy exports from the region.
This fight is now focused on a battle for the Strait of Hormuz, which ships were able to pass through freely before the war started. Iran has been firing on cargo ships and American allies. The U.S. overnight launching a 7-hour wave of strikes aimed at degrading Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping. And the president says these attacks will escalate in the coming days.
ABC News Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce. Inflation at the wholesale level rose 0.3% last month, says ABC's Jim Ryan.
The Producer Price Index offers a snapshot of inflation at the wholesale level by calculating prices that businesses are charging consumers and other businesses. Like the CPI, the PPI is subject to wild gyrations in the cost of food and energy. Strip out those things and producer prices last month rose 0.1%.
This going on since the overnight hours with scuba divers and rescue boats and helicopters. ABC's Trevor Alt is there.
A desperate search in the San Francisco Bay after a boat sank near Alcatraz. At least one person is dead and 3 people are still missing. The cabin cruiser was between the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz Island. Officials say 20 people were on board, most believed to be members of the same family.
President Trump posted on social media that vehicle stops by immigration police cannot be suspended, as was announced by an ICE official hours ago after recent deaths during traffic stops in Maine and Texas. Each ICE team will have a member with a body cam. You're listening to ABC News.
This is the only station of the STL that has been live, local, and locally owned for 3 decades. The Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
Calling all Metro East residents. The weather may be unpredictable, but that doesn't mean your home comfort has to be. From emergency heating and cooling emergencies and repairs to new systems and yearly maintenance checks, you can feel confident that you're ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at you with the help from the friends at Viviano. Get quality, reliable service every time, any season. Go to their website, vivianoair.com. That's vivianoair.com. Train, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a train.
Make the decision this year to upgrade your deck or patio into the special space you've always imagined. Hi, this is Dan Head from Patriot Builds, offering you a free design consultation for a beautiful sunroom, patio cover, power shade, or outdoor kitchen. Now is the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot sunroom. Call today and save 314-822-3232 or click patriotbuildsstl.com or visit our showroom at 811 South Kirkwood Road.
"75 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. Police are investigating after a body was found in Fenton on a bluff near a shopping center. Police say the discovery was made yesterday in the 600 block of Gravois Bluffs Boulevard. The victim's name has not been identified. An autopsy will be conducted to determine a cause of death. Illinois is providing more support to individuals who were wrongfully imprisoned in the state. Governor Pritzker signed the Certificate of Innocence Act. The measure amends the Court of Claims Act, which allows those who have been unjustly incarcerated to bring a claim for time served in prison and receive financial compensation from the state. The new law increases the maximum amount awarded for claims and expands the eligibility provisions for who can file a claim. Missouri's rural speed limit is about to increase. Governor Mike Kehoe signed a bill that raises the speed limit to 75 miles per hour on rural stretches of interstates. The higher speed limits will take effect on August 28th. An effort is underway to expand the art grounds into Illinois. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has the story.
Illinois Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth have announced they have filed legislation to extend the Gateway Arch Grounds into Malcolm Martin Park in East St. Louis. A similar bill was filed in the U.S. House earlier this year. Durbin says the Gateway Arch National Park Boundary Revision Act is a measure that will bring economic growth to the region and surrounding area. He says he looks forward to working with his Missouri colleagues to see the expansion become a reality. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
The St. Louis Housing Authority, in partnership with Preservation of Affordable Housing and Clinton Peabody residents, will commemorate the groundbreaking of Phase 1 of the Clinton Peabody redevelopment. The Housing Authority says this marks a significant milestone in advancing opportunity, investment, and community growth in one of St. Louis's most historic public housing communities. The groundbreaking is set for Friday morning at Chappelle Community Center. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs, and that you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. 75 degrees. Time now is 8:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right. Weather-wise, guest-wise, Randy Carricker is going to join us in 30 minutes. And then we have the former theater reviewer for the RFT has written a new book called Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater. Dennis Brown's going to join us. Maybe talk a stroll down memory lane with the old Riverfront Times.
Is he only going to include it says mostly, so it's only the positive reviews?
Guess he has some bad ones in there as well.
Interesting.
I think he's a fan of St. Louis theater.
Well, yeah, I would think so. Being a critic, I mean, do you become a critic so you can complain about everything?
Some people do.
That's why you become a talk show host.
Right, exactly.
Carl, did you already play Long Time? I was watering the yard.
Not yet.
My sister made the mistake of going to an open house about 10 years ago after my parents had sold the house we grew up in to another family. They knocked down the walls and put a koi pond in the backyard where we used to play. Can't go back. I drove to my mom and dad's house, stopped in front of it, and the lady walked out and asked me if I needed help. I said this was my old house, and she said, come on in. Very nice for a total stranger to say to me, but I declined. She said, thanks. Here's another one from the 618. Our family farm was founded in 1886. My brother and I are the 6th generation farming it. If someone offered me $22 million for our land, no need to give me an ink pen to sign. I'll cut my finger and sign in blood.
I love it. Thank you. That's exactly. I mean, that's perfect. Exactly what I was wondering. 1880. That's
I'm sure there are some people who would never sell, and I'm sure there are other people who would say, yes, get me a pin, I'll prick my finger, and we'll go from there. Yeah. Millhaven, why is it ridiculous to have that many 70-year-olds serving as senators or U.S. representatives? You really shoot from the hip. Experience is everything. Look, I'm not against somebody who's 70 running, and I'm not against experience. My problem is sort of Mitch McConnell.
Well, basic health, like that's not
right, or Dianne Feinstein.
Chuck Grassley.
There comes a point when you no longer can function, and you're not doing your party or your country any good. For example, Mitch McConnell today, that seat is vacant. Therefore, it's going to be harder for Todd Blanche to be confirmed as Attorney General. That hurts the Trump agenda. That hurts the people who voted for you, Kentucky, who voted for Trump. Be that as it may, you can't do your job. And so get out of the way if you can't do your job.
The president is 80, and then you have J.D. Vance. The third person in line is Chuck Grassley, who is 92 years old.
Yeah. At some point, I'm not saying it needs to be age related. I'm just saying at some point, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Which is why I'll be in this chair till I'm 97 years old.
You did it.
That's because you can't afford to leave.
That's right, because I got to pay for my daughter. But no, I'm kidding, obviously. But I mean, if you can't do the job, you can't do the job.
Well, and you can't have a proxy, right? Like, so let's get technical, like Mitch McConnell. If you're ill or if you pass away, you know what I mean? You can't, it's not that simple to get.
Oddly enough, well, the reason why they're playing the game, he's got a Democratic governor. They want to run a special election. He says no. I mean, so there's a whole lot of, there's a whole lot of jockeying going on for this.
There was
for the seat.
Congresswoman in Texas who was living in a dementia ward at an old folks' home.
Yes. What's the senator, the congressman from New Jersey who hasn't been there in months? And a reporter knocked on his door, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be there in a couple weeks." He's running for re-election and hasn't been to work in like a year. So, I mean, it's crazy, some of this
So
stuff.
they literally, you literally have to die to be removed from that.
Yeah, or
office,
thrown out,
or
thrown out like a George Soros or George Santos guy.
Or Matt Gaetz.
Or Matt Gaetz left voluntarily.
He did.
Yes.
Because he was up for another job.
He was up for Attorney General.
Wasn't Santos the one that taught Jeff Beck everything he knows on guitar?
Yes.
That was like the memes.
Didn't
and he did the cameos.
Didn't Jeff Beck run iHeart here in St. Louis?
That's John.
Oh, that's his brother.
Actually, John in his office did have a Jeff Beck album cover that was modified that said John.
Aha. You see, that's what I was confused
Yes.
by. Yes.
I used to tell people my grandpa owned B. Dalton Bookstore. Do you remember those in the mall?
Yeah, I do. What would the Supreme Court look like had Ginsburg retired early versus hanging on while she was sick? I believe Obama asked her to resign, but she declined. Yeah, I don't know if that ever was official, but there's a lot of that sort of retire a year or two early.
But then Mitch McConnell wouldn't let the president.
Yeah, I have to go back and that was the Scalia when Scalia died in office.
They said wait till next term.
Yeah, wait. That was 2015. That was the Hillary-Trump won matchup in 2016.
But then Mitch McConnell sped through the next one when there was like less time.
Yeah, that was Amy Coney Barrett. Right, ran it through. You got to assume that you're never going to have another Supreme Court justice nominated when one party owns the White House and the other party owns the Senate. That's going to be a cold day in hell the next time that happens, where you have a party that owns the presidency different from the party that owns the Senate. Right? If the Democrats take over the Senate this time around, and for whatever reason somebody resigns from the Supreme Court or an opening happens, you really think the Democratic senators are going to nominate somebody Trump puts up there? No. So.
Do they make them do cognitive?
Yes, but they're very, very hard.
Right, it's right here.
Lion.
Like, just in general,
cow.
like maybe, do they make them take any? Does any? If you're past the age of whatever,
that's why
you have to take
the confirmation hearings, because you.
That's kind of their way of.
Yes, that's their way of consent,
and that's why they don't say anything. The nominees don't say anything.
Yeah.
It's like your driver's test. The fact that they don't make it's kind of odd thinking like you take that test when you're 16. And then you don't have to take it again unless you let your license expire. But when
During
you're like
COVID.
90
McGraw.
driving, and it's like, you're.
Yeah, don't remind me. That was a nightmare.
You had to take it over the whole thing. Did you parallel park?
I did have to parallel park.
And
yeah.
was it good?
The parallel park was fine when I had to take my driver's test. The problem I had was I had purchased a new vehicle from Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, and I had my temp tags on the car, which were still valid. But they wouldn't let me take the driving test.
Really? In a temp?
With accurate, legitimate, legal temp tags. I had to go and get the license.
Wow.
So that means I was like, but I don't have the personal property tax. So I don't have the this and that. So then I had to go back, and then it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And then when I finally got the test, He told me to go up to the stop sign and make a right. So I went up to the stop sign, but it was a weird intersection in which the stop sign and the white line to stop was
behind to where it would block your you wouldn't be able to see other right.
Yes.
So you did not come to a complete stop at the fat white.
Correct.
Points off,
I came at a complete stop past the sign so I could see around the corner.
Nope.
And he was sitting there like, interesting. And then, and I'm like, wait, what? What's going on?
He did not like, And was the guy like 21?
Guy was writing the whole time. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I did fine on the parallel park, but I got dinged for that. And I was like, give me a break.
I saw a Tesla with expired temp tags yesterday.
Then I had to take the written test. Which
How
was
far behind?
Which was a lot harder than you would think.
How far away from a fire hydrant do you need to be?
Yeah.
How long does something protrude off the back of your truck that needs a red something tied to the back.
Things like that, or how close should you follow the car in front of you? Like how many feet? Well, yeah, but how many feet? You're like, I don't know.
How long's a car?
I think I passed it.
Are there still 20 questions?
I think it was 20 questions, and I think I passed it with like none to spare. I think I was like Jordan Walker in the home run derby. Ooh. I was down to my last swing, and I pulled out victory.
So you can get, is it 6 wrong?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. But whatever the minimum was, or whatever the maximum was, I got the maximum wrong and still passed.
Nice.
Yeah.
The maximum
Well
wrong,
done.
but still passed. Let's go for a ride. I'm good.
That was actually my report card in high school and college.
Right.
I got the maximum wrong, but I still passed. Why do more work than I need to?
That's why they call me bare minimum.
8:15, Big 550. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, we are accident-free, but 270 north is heavy from 44 to Doherty Ferry. 44 west crowded at Grand with the left lane closed for road work. 6455 west is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 east slows down around 170, and 64 west is busy between Hampton and Clayton Skinker. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've got more typical hot July days ahead. Wednesday starts with a low of 73, then a high of 91. The heat index around 95, so you'll notice the humidity. Slim chance for a stray thundershower in the afternoon to early evening. Better chances are well south of St. Louis. In fact, our rain chances do increase Thursday, though. About 50% chance for some scattered showers and storms during the afternoon to evening and then fading as the sun sets. Otherwise, a high of 90 Thursday with a heat index of 97. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk flowers. Let's talk Walter Knoll, WKF.com. You need flowers? You need to go see my friend Walter Knoll, WKF.com. You can do it on your phone, on your tablet, whatever, your computer, your laptop, WKF.com. That's the website. Once you're in, you're in. You can go about navigating the pictures and to see the type of bouquet you want, flowers, any type of style, design, any type of unique flower you want. Yeah, Walter Knoll's got all of that. You can also give him a call, 1-800-341-ROSE, 1-800-341-ROSE, or you can walk into any one of the locations. What you get at Walter Knoll is quality. What you get is good pricing, and what you get is a great design. You know, they have a whole wedding department that is set up. You go in, you sit down with the consultants and the wedding planners, and they will help you navigate the weddings, whether it's the rehearsal dinner, whether it's the church, whether it's the reception, whether it's the getting ready the night before, all that stuff. Walter Knoll will just make sure that wedding sings. And you walk into any wedding, you know the minute you walk in, you're like, oh, yeah, Walter Knoll is in charge of the flowers, right? It's that much better. 1-800-341-ROSE, 1-800-341-ROSE. Let Walter Knoll be your family florist.
It's the Big Sports Show with Sports Director Brendan Lisi. Weeknights 7 to 9 on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS.
Summer in St. Louis means oppressive heat and humidity. Now is the time to take advantage of Aldon Heating and Cooling's $79 AC check with a free home air quality snapshot. And summer is allergy season. Now is the time to take advantage of Aldon's $200 off an allergy relief package, which includes an air scrubber and filtration system. Book your appointment now as spaces are filling up fast. Certain restrictions apply. And for information on a state-of-the-art dike and fit system, visit al-don.com.
Your yard, your workday, your John Deere.
At Side and Sugar Novi Partners, get the mowing power you need with low financing options on John Deere Zero Turns. For a limited time, choose 0% financing for 36 months or 1.9% financing for 60 months on Z700, Z900, and Quick Track commercial mowers. Plus, get additional cash off select mowers. Side and Sugar Novi, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 6/1/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
Celebrate National Ice Cream Day this Sunday, July 19th at all Clementine's ice cream locations. Beginning at noon, the first 50 people at each parlor receive a free limited edition t-shirt, one shirt per transaction. Come taste their new international flavors, including one-day-only Dubai chocolate and matcha lemon curd. See you at Clementine.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Why are we playing this song?
14 years ago, it came out and stormed the world.
No, I thought Linda Ronstadt sang this song.
She did a cover.
8:23 here, Big 550 KTRS. How about Derek Gould, Post-Dispatch beat writer for the St. Louis Cardinals, is out with a story or a tweet or something. Apparently, Jordan Walker and Riley O'Brien to get to the All-Star game Sunday night, you know what they did?
Hitchhiked.
Took an Uber?
Close and close. Jordan Walker, Riley O'Brien, and Ivan Herrera took a Southwest plane from Lambert to Philadelphia.
Huh.
Jordan Walker sat in the front along with Riley O'Brien. Ivan Herrera did not pay for the $49 upcharge and apparently sat in the back of the plane.
Did anybody ask them to switch seats so that a mother could sit next to their
I mean,
baby?
Jordan Walker's like 6'8", man. How is he fitting in that Southwest Airlines seat?
Well, if you pay the extra $49, you get the extra leg.
You get the extra leg. He should be sitting in the exit row.
Yeah, but then you have to be willing to save everybody. And does anyone ever raise their hand going, yeah, no?
No, I got to get out of here.
Me.
Not me. Every man for himself, and I'm first. Sorry.
Have a nice flight. Like sitting next to.
It was a direct flight to Philadelphia, so they at least upgraded for a direct flight. You didn't have to go through Des Moines to get to Philadelphia. But how'd you like to be on the plane Sunday night going from St. Louis to Philly and being like, "Guy looks exactly like Jordan Walker, but he can't be on this flight."
No way.
All right,
he got the wait. What was it? The pistachios? Did they get pistachio? What was it that
Ivan Herrera, if he's sitting in the back, he was aced out of the pistachios.
So they were in 7.
I don't know if Jordan Walker was in the front of the plane that got the pistachios or in the front of the plane that only got the peanuts.
Okay.
Now, let's go around the room. Who's the most famous person you've seen flying regular flying commoners?
Daryl Hannah.
Really? You were on a plane with Daryl Hannah?
On our way to China, and she was filming Kill Bill.
And she was on your plane?
Yes.
Did you say anything to her?
No, she was in first class. We were not.
Oh, okay. All right. Rose?
Frank Opinion.
Really?
Yeah, oddly enough, Dad and I went on one of those. He got a radio station promotion to some island, or, like Cancun or something.
Yeah.
And then on our plane is Dan Strauss and Frank Opinion.
Because they were on the same junket or something?
It might have been they were at KTRS at the time.
I'm sure, yeah.
I don't even remember, but
they used to take a bunch of listeners down to the Caribbean. Yeah.
So it was something like that.
So Frank Opinion's
Well,
your brush
I'm
with,
honestly
with
trying,
greatness?
to be quite honest, like that's, when you said that, I'm like really trying to think. I don't know if I've ever
really
had a brush with greatness on a.
I've had a couple. I had I had Gerald Ford on the plane.
Huh.
Yeah, Gerald Ford. He was the last.
What?
Yeah, not when he was president.
So there's Secret Service on there too.
But years later, he was the last one on the plane and the first one off the plane, for whatever reason. Andy Rooney was on my flight at one time. Did you ever notice the thing about the tags on the luggage? Andy Rooney. But the greatest was Andy Rooney was pretty big guy. But the biggest one was Tony Gwynn, baseball player.
Wait, a former president and Tony Gwynn's bigger? I would say being on a plane with the former president's a big deal.
Well, but he was in the front and I was in the back. It was a Southwest flight, but so I couldn't comment. I couldn't say anything to him.
Okay.
So the reason why Tony Gwynn is bigger is because I had an interaction with Tony Gwynn.
I was thinking Tony Goldwyn or whatever, the really cute guy on Scandal.
The guilty guy from
Ghost.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that'd have been cool.
So I'm sitting in my seat. I'm sitting in the aisle seat on Southwest Airlines, and I see Tony Gwynn coming in, and I just totally geeked out, and I was like, "Hey, Tony, you want to?" Because there were no other seats except for middle seats. Right, it was the end of the Southwest boarding process, and there were only middle seats left. So I was like, "Hey, Tony, I'll sit in the middle. If you want to sit on the end, I'll be happy to sit in the middle."
He's like,
and he was like, "No, I'm going to the back. I'm going to the back." I was like, "Are you sure, buddy?" Yeah, just totally dissed me.
You can sit here if you want. Can't sit here.
Totally
seats taken.
Totally dissed me, Tony.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. So,
what team does he play for?
He might have been a coach for the San Diego State at that point or something.
They're dead too,
but yeah, no, I wouldn't have sat next to me. I would have heckled him and peppered him with questions. Actually, you know what? There's another one. Horning, Paul Horning. I sat on a plane with Paul Horning. Now that was interesting. I sat next to him.
Who's that?
Paul Horning, Heisman Trophy winner, Notre Dame, and had a long conversation with him and this other guy. So the two of us were peppering Paul Horning with questions.
He loved that.
Loved it. Do you know who the other guy was? Like the head scout for the Houston Astros. And Paul Horning got up and I'm like, "Hey, who are you?" He's like, "Oh," I'm like, "What do you do?" He's like, "I'm the head scout for the Houston Astros." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "You're kind of famous." I was like, "What? I'd rather talk to you. Yeah. What am I talking to Paul Horning for?"
You know, it's very funny because last week a friend of mine texted me and she's like, "Lance Bass is on my plane."
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's tearing up my heart.
Yes.
Nice.
Clearly, we've hit a thread here. I was across the aisle in coach, St. Louis to L.A. with Marianne from Gilligan's Island. Dawn Wells. Ironically, it was a 3-hour flight.
Well played.
How about the fact that Jordan Walker won more prize money than he's making in his salary this year? Yeah. Tom Morello was a huge Rams fan and was on my flight to LAX on a Monday after the game.
The guitar player for Rage Against the Machine used to come to St. Louis all the time.
Oh, all right. Tom Brokaw, I'm going to say like, I don't know. From Louisville to Atlanta, day after the Kentucky Derby. When I was 15, Shirley Jones, Jack Cassidy, Ron Schnell, and Tom Brokaw from Louisville to Atlanta, day after the Kentucky Derby. Had a flight attendant for as a flight attendant for 34 years. I have had many celebrities on my flights, but we did take John Hamm to Mumbai, India, where he filmed $1 Million Arm.
Oh.
Please don't lecture us on the Cardinals if you can't pronounce the players' names correctly. Whose names?
Ivan Herrera? Who?
Would
that be it?
What did I say?
Yeah, that's the only name I could think of. Jordan Walker. I think you did well.
Did I butcher it? Did I butcher it?
Ivan?
I apologize.
I don't know if that's. I'm just. It's
I
the only I
don't know if
of.
I lecture anybody about anything, except the Cardinals. 8:31 here, Big 550 KTR, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, we are accident-free, but 270 north is heavy from 44 to Doherty Ferry. 6455 west is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 east bogs down around 170, and 64 west is busy from Hampton to Clayton Skinker. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Here you go. On a flight to Las Vegas, Heidi Glaus and Marcia were on the flight. They boarded way before we did and snubbed us all the way home. No, no, they didn't say that. Sat next to Charlie Spoonhauer from the Billikens. He was very nice. Flew with Jimmy J.J. Walker to Vegas, and then by happenstance ended up at a blackjack table with him playing blackjack. William McGee on a flight to San Francisco was on a plane with Ozzie Smith. I was across the aisle in wait a minute. Neil Rackers, kicker for the Cardinals. Once on a plane, he was very nice. I asked him why he was on a Southwest plane, and he said Bidwell makes us find our own way to training camp. That's about right. So there you go. All right. It's Ivan, not Ivan Herrera. I apologize. Ivan Herrera. I apologize.
I said it too. That's my fault. Thank you.
8:33 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
More health workers went on strike today as Ebola cases in Congo exceed 2,000, including 754 deaths. Many health professionals say they're working under difficult conditions without adequate compensation. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said that he was leaving the United Kingdom in better shape than I found it, as he fielded questions, criticism, and even a bit of praise from lawmakers in the House of Commons for the last time today. Starmer, who leaves office next week, bid farewell to the boisterous weekly Prime Minister's question sessions, where he has traded barbs with opposition politicians and defended his government's record. In local headlines, a prayer service will be held tonight for the victims of the mass shooting in East St. Louis over the weekend. It will be held at the House of Prayer to All Nations from 6 to 8 this evening. And the state of Missouri is creating a dementia services coordinator. Governor Mike Kehoe has signed a new law that creates the coordinator position within the Missouri Department of Health and Human Services. Officials say that the coordinator will be a resource for caregivers seeking medical equipment, educational services, and respite services. 78 degrees. Time now is 8:34. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Neighbors Credit Union, neighborscu.org, neighborscu.org. It's been around for 100 years. It's a credit union that originally started off helping out letter carriers. Well, now it's available to everybody. Everybody can take advantage of Neighbors Credit Union and all of their great programs. Everything from the home everything line of credit, home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. You enjoy all of the benefits, including a great low introductory rate for the first 12 months at neighborscu.org. They have 8 area locations. You can certainly walk into one of their new, upgraded, style, designed credit union offices, branches, or you can do it all online at neighborscu.org. How about the Smart Account? That's for smart people who want to teach the next generation about financial literacy. That's why they call it the Smart Accounts. That comes with an elevated interest rate when you're trying to show the value of interest and compounding interest. And if you save $1, then you have more money than if you spent $1. Neighbors Credit Union, a great credit union that is dedicated to St. Louis and our neighbors. neighborscu.org, neighborscu.org.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Classic cars are meant to be driven, and like any vehicles, they require regular maintenance. Our experts will help keep you and your classic on the road. Fall in love with your car again. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill, online at autoartstl.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. And now it's Sports in the Morning with Randy Carricker, brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Classic Hair Care.
All right, Randy Carricker, sports guru, joins us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, McGraw. Good to be with you as always.
Was it just me, or was that a boring All-Star game last night?
That's what happens when the pitching is so good and the hitters can't catch up to it. And I think what's happened in baseball is that pitchers are kind of invisible to hitters. It used to be, but when we were younger, that you didn't see nearly as many pitchers as you do now because of interleague play and because of the fact that teams use so many pitchers. You can't get a read on guys. Like, for example, when the Cardinals and Mets played in the same division and would play each other 19 times, you would see the starting five, and then you'd see 3 or 4 relievers. So you only saw a few pitchers during the course of the season. Now with interleague play, and you don't have those rivalries anymore, you don't see the pitchers, and it's exacerbated in the All-Star game when it's pitchers that you don't see very often, and you only see them for 1 inning at a time. It's really hard to hit, and I think that's what we're seeing in the All-Star game. And I don't think that's a problem that's easily solvable either because, man, these pitchers throw hard, and it's hard to hit them.
Yeah, and that's sort of the knock against baseball now. I know they've made a lot of rule changes to speed up the game and, bring the, do away with the shift. But the strikeouts, watching a strikeout was fun every once in a while. But, you just sit around watching for somebody to hit a home run. It's baseball's got to do something about this.
Yeah, and I think that they're making an effort to get more contact into the game. But to your point, kids go to these individual trainers when they're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and learn how to throw with max effort. Even if we go back to 2013, when Matt Carpenter had those 55 doubles for the Cardinals, and that's 13 years ago, he talked about how he could count on a pitcher throwing him a sinker down and away, and he could just serve it to left field and hit a double. Well, nobody throws 94 on the outside part anymore. It's all 95, 98 inside, 100 inside. Jacob Mizrowski, 105 inside. So that makes it hard to hit. And then you have hitters, you say, they're just waiting for a home run. They don't care if they strike out because they just want to make contact and hit the ball over the fence. So it's a really bad convergence for those that really like action in baseball. I do think it's getting better, but man, it's not a very entertaining game. And it's interesting. Management people say, I get that it's not an entertaining game, but we're paid to win, and that's how you win. And so, but one other point here about the max effort and the way that baseball teams pay their players. It used to be that you would bring up a pitcher and you'd say, okay, this guy's going to be with us for 10 years. Well, now let's just use the Cardinals as an example. In 2019, they bring up Jordan Hicks. He stays with them for 5 years. He's disposable. They get rid of him, basically out of baseball now. They replace him with Ryan Helsley. He stays with them for 4 or 5 years. He's replaceable. Boom, he's gone. They trade him off, and he's got arm injuries now. They replace him with Riley O'Brien, who throws 100 miles an hour. He's going to be disposable, too, and they'll get rid of him, and then the next 100-mile-an-hour guy will come up. So rather than trying to develop pitchers that are going to be with you for a while, those guys right now are styrofoam cups. You have them for a day, and then you just throw them away.
Well, not forget in the season they're just putting so much pressure on the bullpen that by come July, August, September the bullpen's shot and the starting pitcher goes 4 innings and you're paying him $150 million.
Well, some teams are. Like the Dodgers can afford to have a 35-man major league roster, and that's one of the problems that the players don't get when we talk about having a level playing field. The Dodgers can sit there with Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow on the IL, 2 guys who would be the number 1 and 2 starters for the Cardinals, and the Dodgers still have the best record in baseball. And they can afford that because they're paying guys. They can bring guys up. They literally have 15 major league pitchers, if not more than that. And the Cardinals and most teams can't afford to keep up with that. And so to your point, now you have a 13-man staff, but you really need to plan on probably pitching 23 guys during the course of a season. And the Cardinals are kind of an outlier because they never put starting pitchers on the injured list. They never get hurt. But most teams, like the Brewers, I think, have 12 pitchers on the IL right now. I think pitchers on the IL. I think the Cubs are right there with them. Most teams have just an incredible amount of pitching injuries.
Yeah. Did Jordan Walker, according to Derek Gold, Jordan Walker took a Southwest Airlines plane to Philadelphia?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals did have 3 guys plus Ali Marmol and his family. It used to be, and maybe this is a money thing with the players making as much money because Jordan Walker isn't making nearly as much as the Cardinals made. But when the Cardinals in the last decade would put 6 players on the All-Star team, they would have a bunch of millionaires and they would charter a jet to wherever they were going. And so it's interesting that a guy that's making $780,000, and by the way, made more in winning the home run derby than he's going to make playing baseball this year. Well, no surprise that he would take Southwest, but you'd think that the group would get together. I guess Herrera got there late, but Marmol and Jordan and Riley O'Brien would get together and go together.
What did you think of Jordan Walker's performance? One of the great stories in all of baseball, I would think.
It was incredible, and I thought he was done. I think everybody thought he was done. Okay, he doesn't. The only way he could win is to hit that magenta ball. And for people that weren't paying attention, the last ball was sponsored by T-Mobile, and the ball is pink. And nobody had hit that ball out of the ballpark all night long. And if you hit that ball out of the ballpark, you get another swing and then another swing and another swing until you don't hit a home run. Well, he had 3 swings left, and he had to hit 6 home runs. And he gets to that last ball, the 15th ball, hits the magenta ball out, and then hits 5 more in a row to beat Kyle Schwarber. It was an incredible performance. And I think, McGraw, 2 things happened. Number 1, he introduced himself to America. And tell me if you agree with this. I think he also introduced himself as the face of the Cardinals. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there was no question it was Jordan Walker's coming out party. And just the reverence Barry Bonds showed him in the post-game interview showed that Jordan Walker is going to be a force.
It's amazing when he hits the ball, how hard he hits it. And I'm glad the Cardinals stuck with him, and I know the previous regime wasn't happy with his launch angle and the way the ball flew off of his bat, even though it did fly hard. But at some point, you just have to let a hitter kind of figure things out if he hits the ball that hard. And I think that's where the Cardinals went. A couple of things happened. They sat him down for 3 days towards the end of spring training, and I think that was a wake-up call for him. But now he has kind of bought in to what the news staff, the people that have played the game, the John Jays of the world, the Brant Browns of the world, the Daniel Descalzos of the world, I think he's kind of bought into what they're selling, where he might have just thought before, hey, I'm just going to do what got me here. And that wasn't doing it for him at the major league level.
How close, realistically, were the Cardinals to trading Jordan Walker?
I don't think they were close to trading him, but he was on his last legs because he had until now. He had until this All-Star break to prove that he was a major leaguer. And I think if he had not put up numbers, if he had 4 home runs and 17 RBIs and it had to be sent down during the first half of the season, I think there was a very good chance that the Cardinals would pull the plug on the Walker experiment. I don't think they were close to DFAing him or trading him then, but his timeline to succeed was from opening day of 2026 to the All-Star break of 2026.
That's a great story all the way around, and good for the Cardinals for sticking with him and not running and cutting bait. So good stuff. Rady Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Classic Air Care McGraw, and they've been around for a century. They started in 1926 here in St. Louis, and here they are in 2026, and they're still going strong, helping people stay cool during the summer months and warm during the winter months. And right now, it is warm in St. Louis. And if you have not had your air conditioner checked, and we're in the middle of July now, you better get that air conditioner checked by going to classicaircare.com, and that's AIRE, classicaircare.com, and setting up that appointment to get your air conditioner checked. And one of the cool things about Classic Air Care is that they'll tell you how your air conditioner is doing. They'll tell you what the lifespan is and tell you, hey, you might want to be saving some money because you'll probably need an air conditioner next year. In addition to doing air conditioning and heating, our friends at Classic Air Care also provide great work with electrical and with plumbing. So if there's a great St. Louis company that's out there, it's Classic Air Care. Make sure you get in touch with them and get that air conditioning taken care of right now at classicaircare.com.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw 270 north is heavy from Doherty Ferry up to Manchester. 64 east bogs down around 170. And 5570 west is jammed from 255 to Black Lane in Illinois. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures back towards the lower 90s this afternoon. Seeing a few chances of some isolated showers and storms. Most of that should remain well off to the south of the metropolitan area. Then as we head off into Thursday, scattered chances of showers and storms up to a 50% chance. Highs towards the upper 80s, nearing 90 degrees. Going to be tracking that starting to push out towards the overnight hours. Friday, a 40% chance. Then into this weekend, a heat index climbing up to 100 degrees. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, because if you notice, on Grand and Shoto, the new hospital is getting very close to the end. All right, the hardest part is all the finishing touches and everything else. Once the outer shell is built, then you got to fix it and you got to make it right. Lots goes into it to make it a world-class hospital, so they're still a couple months away. But when they're done, it is going to be a special place right there on the corner of Grand and Dotier, and that is going to be the place where miracles happen every single day. You don't have to go too far to hear a story about the special work they do at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, where you bump into somebody who was treated there. You talk to a family member who's been had loved ones treated there. You talk to a doctor or a nurse or a support staff, and they're quick to tell you just how wonderful a place it is and the amazing stories each and every day that happen at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Would you like to find out more? Would you like to volunteer your time, maybe be part of one of the events that they have going on, or maybe you just want to learn more about the community and what a great place SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital has become all these many years. SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital is the official name. Everybody calls it Cardinal Glennon, and the website, glennon.org.
The culmination of the summer of soccer is upon us, but before the title match in New York, the Big 550 KTRS presents our championship game preview show, Friday night, July 17th at 6. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. Also brought to you by Milo's Bocce Garden, Together Credit Union, Vengel's Restaurant and Bar, Fisher and Fritchell Homes, and Spas and More STL on the Big 550.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Elevate your next event with STL Bartenders to Go, providing full bar packages, rental bar equipment, and bartender and server staffing. Book now and pay no sales tax with premium or bartender's choice bar packages. We'll get your party on. STLBartendersToGo.com.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com.
Make the decision to upgrade your deck or patio into the special place you always imagined. Jill Farmer from my friends at Patriot Build Sunrooms, and they're offering you a free design consultation for a beautiful sunroom, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, or anything else you can dream up. Now's the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot sunroom. Call today, 314-822-3232. Patriot Builds STL, or visit them 811 South Kirkwood Road.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Helen Reddy?
Whose birthday is it today?
Oh, still Linda Ronstadt?
Yeah. This is the long time that has been requested many times on the text line.
Are the same person or different people wanting this song?
I don't know. I got to check the numbers.
I love it.
And that's when that was in the 60s when she was really young.
Well, Linda Ronstadt was, I mean, in her day, she was right. She was the
it girl.
Yeah, she was the Christina Aguilera girl. I mean, she was, I don't want to say she was Britney Spears, but she was
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, she was the Patsy Cline of her day.
Watch the CNN documentary. It is really good.
Yeah, she's got like MS or something, or
they thought it was Parkinson's disease, but it's a neurological disease, and she stopped singing in like 2013.
Gotcha. All right, next hour we're going to talk to the former theater critic of the Riverfront Times is out with a new book, so we'll get into that. In terms of radio news, Howard Stern announced that he's cutting back to 1 day a week. Fired a whole bunch of his staff, which I felt kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I guess when, like, Howard Stern quits doing radio shows, people lose their jobs.
He's on a 9-week vacation right now, and when he comes back, he was only doing 2 days a week from the beginning of the year in his new contract.
Oh, so now he's cutting back to 1 day.
1 day a week.
Sounds like Sirius just begged him to do 1 day a week.
And he signed a 3-year deal. So it's going to be 1 day a week for the next 2.5 years.
Right. I mean, it sounds like he was going to retire, and
Please don't leave.
And Sirius said, "Look, what do you have to do 1 day a week?" I will say this: not that Howard Stern obviously is in a different stratosphere than the rest of us, right? We're not in the same business, but I will tell you, doing a show 1 day a week is probably harder than doing a show 5 days a week.
Well, he saw what Jon Stewart's doing.
Well, and I would love to talk to Jon Stewart about this because there's something to be said for doing the show every day. When I take a week off, I get out of a little bit of a rhythm, and I need a couple days to get back into the rhythm. And if you don't do it, I mean, it's even a week. That first show back is a lot harder than the last show you've done because it's just sort of
so much.
Well, it's just there's a rhythm to it. And if he does it once a week, he's going to get out of rhythm.
But think about all that time to show prep. I mean, you can complete cheat every single day and be prepared for that one show a week.
One of the great lines in Private Parts is his wife comes home and what are you doing? He's sitting on the couch reading Mad Magazine. He goes, show prep.
Yeah, that's it.
Which only if you're in radio did you get the joke that he's reading Mad Magazine and he's in the middle of show prep.
When you were talking about Little House last week, I kept thinking of Mad Magazine's parody. It was called, I still remember this, Little House on the Oh So Dreary.
Mad Magazine,
so good.
There should be a documentary. That was so good, and so many kids read Mad Magazine.
I mean, it was like I think we had a subscription.
It was a counterculture thing.
Yep.
It was a
comedy,
stick it to the man type of thing. Alfred E. Newman was the ultimate in.
But it was all parody. Yeah, like it was just Spy versus Spy, and then that fun thing at the
Anti-war.
end where you would fold it in.
I remember reading Mad Magazine cover to cover every week.
And you're even reading between the margins because there were little drawings.
It was
That was the best. Who did those? Like it was like Robert Smigel little drawings, these tiny little babies.
I mean, Mad Magazine. It's the kids today. They don't appreciate counterculture. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend, and 5570 West is jammed from 255 to Black Lane due to construction. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
McGraw, I'm in tears listening to this song, and you have the gall to think it's Helen Reddy. Here's another one. Even I knew it wasn't Helen Reddy. Really? Helen Reddy, McGraw? Sorry. Again, I admit it. I admit it. I apologize. 9 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Right now in Capitol Hill, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche will face questioning by members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, who will decide whether he gets the job permanently. They're all making opening comments. Senator Chuck Grassley is the chair.
The Senate has already judged your fitness for high office and confirmed you as the department's second in command.
The top Democrat on the committee, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin.
The Attorney General is the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America. Since you were confirmed, the Department of Justice has literally violated dozens of court orders to advance the president's agenda.
Blanche had his opening statement, too.
In recent years, we watched the Justice Department turned against many of you and a former president, and it damaged the public's faith in justice. We are fixing that.
Questions could range from the handling of the Epstein files to the so-called anti-weaponization fund. The U.S. military says it fired missiles at Iranian missile launch and storage sites in the first daytime attack since the first 5 months and a half of the war. A new threat from President Trump today, setting a next Wednesday deadline.
We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Iran's threatening to stop all energy exports from the region. New numbers about the cost of living this morning. The Producer Price Index, tracking prices at the wholesale level. Declining energy costs in June helped to drive down the index 0.3%, but prices were still 5.5% higher than a year ago. President Trump posts on social media that vehicle stops by immigration police cannot be suspended, as was announced by an ICE official hours ago in an email after recent deaths during traffic stops in Maine and Texas. Unclear if the stops will be paused. Listening to ABC News.
30 years going strong. We are live, local and locally owned. This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger. Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
81 degrees at 9:03. Law enforcement will launch a new anti-violence initiative in response to the mass shootings over the weekend in East St. Louis. Details of the 40 Days of Nonviolence and Beyond initiative will be unveiled during a noon press conference in East St. Louis. The city of St. Louis has settled a $35,000 lawsuit brought by Board of Aldermen President Megan Green after she was tear gassed by police during a 2017 protest. The lawsuit is centered around a protest in the Central West End on September 15th of 2017 that happened after former St. Louis police officer Jason Stockley was acquitted of a first-degree murder charge in the shooting death of Anthony Lamar Smith. Green says she and the law firm that represented her will donate every dollar from the settlement to Invest STL, a nonprofit helping St. Louis residents in tornado recovery. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department released a statement on the lawsuit settlement. Quote, while the city of St. Louis chose to settle and give tens of thousands of dollars to the aldermanic president, an elected official, it should not diminish the bravery, sacrifice, and professionalism of the officers who faced life-threatening violence that night. We stand by the brave men and women who risk their lives to serve St. Louis, end quote. The Cross River Crime Task Force seized multiple illegally possessed firearms and quantities of narcotics while making numerous arrests during a countrywide deployment last week. The coordinated enforcement effort involved officers and deputies from multiple law enforcement agencies, along with state and federal partners who serve on the task force. During the deployment, task force members arrested several individuals found to be in possession of firearms and illegal narcotics, including fentanyl and methamphetamine. Officers also located and arrested several fugitives with outstanding warrants. Work continues on the Improve I-70 project with a new phase coming soon. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has more. An Italian pasta maker connected to the St. Louis World's Fair plans to open its first ever location in the U.S. in St. Charles. The company, Bertani, wants to open in a former pizza crust manufacturing facility along Millstone Parkway. The plant was shuttered when General Mills closed the plant this year as part of a wave of closures elsewhere in Missouri. Bertani is considered the oldest filled pasta manufacturer in Italy and makes a wide variety of tortellini and ravioli. One of those pasta recipes received a gold medal at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 206 points to 52,800. The S&P is up 32 points to 7,600. And the NASDAQ is up 155 points to 26,300. In KTRS Sports, the National League fell to the American League at the All-Star Game 4-0 in Philly. Jordan Walker struck out in his only at-bat. Ivan Herrera was hitless as well, while Riley O'Brien pitched a scoreless third inning. St. Louis City SC is back on the pitch tomorrow as they take on Sporting KC. It's the first match between the two arch rivals this season. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads, where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
And Rose, this traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. If the severe storms have you saying, oh, hail, bring your car, truck, SUV, or van to Dents Express for a free hail damage repair evaluation. Dents Express will have your ride looking like new again, and they'll even take care of the insurance paperwork. That's Dents Express at dentsexpressstl.com. 64 East bogs down between Spady and Lindbergh and from 170 to Big Bend, and 5570 West is jammed from 255 to Black Lane due to construction. This traffic report also brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, sunny today with a high of 91, partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 73, and tomorrow cloudy with rain and storms possible with a high of 87. Currently 81 degrees at 9:09. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Tune in to the Big 550 for the daily World Cup updates with Sports Director Brendan Weesey, only on KTRS. Brought to you by Means Financial Group, HW Kia, Dance Express, and Yenser Family Dental.
Lauren, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
If your parents were buying a home tomorrow, would you represent them any differently than one of your clients?
Not a chance. And when I say that, I mean I treat my clients exactly like I'd treat my parents. Same honesty, same advice, same negotiation. Every client gets the same service.
Okay, second question. If one of your closest friends called you and said, I found a house, I'm in love with it, but you knew it was a bad decision, what would you do?
I've already done it before. I'd tell them no, don't buy it. My job isn't to sell people houses. It's to help them make good decisions. And sometimes that means they don't get to buy anything that day.
That's exactly why I've sent my friends and family to Lauren for years.
I mean, it's simple. Buying and selling a house, it's a big deal. And people deserve to have someone who's willing to tell them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear.
Exactly. If you already know Lauren from listening every week, then you already know the kind of person she is. When it's time to make your move, give Lauren Risley Realty a call at 314-775-0684.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Celebrate National Ice Cream Day this Sunday, July 19th at all Clementine's ice cream locations. Beginning at noon, the first 50 people at each parlor receive a free limited edition t-shirt, one shirt per transaction. Come taste their new international flavors, including one-day only Dubai chocolate and matcha lemon curd. See you at Clementine.
Buck.
Wednesday, when we get together, some travel tips from some friends, Jules.
That's right. We've got Kelly from AAA Travel coming in to tell you about their latest specials so you can get away.
Bob Ramsey knows a thing about traveling or two, just coming back from a couple weeks vacation. Let's see if he's still a show.
We'll ask him.
Also, two Johnnies. That's a lot for a Wednesday, but starts at noon. Hope to see you then.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS. The talk of St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$9:13 here, Big 550 KTRS. KTRS, we're proud to say, does more for local authors than any other media outlet here in town. And we got a good one here for you. Former theater reviewer or critic?
Well, take your choice.
former theater critic. Sounds more hip. For the
It
Riverfront,
sounds more snobbish.
There you go. From the Riverfront Times, he's author of a brand new book called Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater. Dennis Brown joins us here on KTRS. Dennis, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You reminded me that, were you Marcia Mason's PR person?
No, but I had a book out then at the same time that she published her memoir.
Okay.
And so we were kind of in tandem doing things, and so I got to know her through that.
Gotcha. And then were you on when Charlie Brennan and I were doing the show and we interviewed Marcia Mason? That was it was on Webster Groves, right?
It was on the stage at the Loretto Hilton. What happened was Simon & Schuster, her publisher, did not want to send her to St. Louis. They said it wasn't a big enough market.
Wasn't she from St. Louis?
She's from St. Louis, of course. In fact, was very much involved in Conrad Hilton donating the money for the Loretto Hilton Stage Theater. And so, of course, she wanted to come.
Yeah.
And I did some things behind the scenes, and we sent some material to Simon & Schuster that persuaded them that they should send her.
Yeah.
And so it was run through the bookstore on Euclid.
Okay.
But it happened on the stage at the Loretto Hilton.
All right. Dennis Brown, our guest. You were also good friends with Sam Neill?
I was.
Sam Neill, I don't want to call him a character actor because he was much more than a character actor.
He was.
Not that it's negative to be a character actor.
Sam Neill, who died day before yesterday at 78, was best defined as a reluctant star. He didn't want fame. He did not seek fame. He didn't trust fame, but fame found him. I knew him best before that happened. You can divide his life between before Jurassic Park and after Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And when I knew him best, he would say, I'm a little bit famous, and that's as famous as anybody needs to be.
It's funny you said. Well, how did you get to know him?
I worked at CBS.
Okay.
And we did a miniseries, a 7-hour miniseries called Cain and Abel, and based on a novel by Jeffrey Archer, huge worldwide best-selling novel. And he was either Cain or Abel, I don't remember. And Peter Strauss was the other.
Sure.
And so I got to know him on the set. And then we toured. We toured to several countries, to several cities around the country. And then we just stayed in touch. He was a nice person. He thought I was a nice person. And you want nice people in your life.
What did you do for this CBS?
I was the publicist.
Okay.
And so I was the one out trying to sell Sam Neill. And he was the person out there not wanting to be sold.
Right. He just wanted to do his work and let his work stand on his own.
Sam believed and told me, he said, there's a huge difference that people don't understand between success and achievement. He said, don't trust success, but try to achieve. And I think that's what he did. And not only as a film actor, but then he took his money and went home to New Zealand and started a winery. And I think that probably gave him more satisfaction. He invited me to his home in New Zealand. The only problem was he hadn't built it yet. And he built it from the ground up. It became his Shangri-La.
Yeah.
And by the time it took him years to finish it. And by the time it was done, we had Jurassic Park had come, and there wasn't. But I can assure you, I was in Toronto once, and I saw that he was there making a movie, and I found out what hotel he was in and left a message. And we had breakfast the next morning. And we liked spending time with each other.
So, are you from St. Louis originally?
I am from St. Louis originally.
And so you went off to do all these great things and then came back to become the theater critic for the RFT?
Yeah, well, that's not quite the arc, but that's what happened. Yes.
When did you start working for the RFT?
2001.
Okay.
And I reviewed for them till 2013.
Would you consider those the heyday of the Riverfront Times?
Well, it was existent.
Right.
It was there.
Yeah.
They were a heyday because there was a great editor there named Tom Finkel, and he put together a really good paper. It was an honor to work for Tom Finkel.
Yeah.
In fact, I dedicated Stage Page to Tom Finkel.
Yeah, we were talking about the Riverfront Times and since its demise, heartbreaking. But time and place, it was about as culturally significant as any newspaper in any town in America.
Yeah, it was. People used to say to me, don't you want to move on and try to become the theater critic at the Post-Dispatch? No, not under no circumstances. Then you have people coming to you and saying, look, we have advertisers here. This theater buys advertising. You can't write that. I was at the RFT for 13 years. No one ever in 13 years commented on anything I wrote or told me what to write or what not to write. One time they came to me and said, we'd like you to do a cover story on such and such. I said, I don't like that person. I don't want to do it. Okay, we'll get somebody else. That was the Riverfront Times. Wonderful freedom.
Yeah. Ray Hartman, what are your thoughts on Ray Hartman?
My thoughts on Ray Hartman were a man who knew how to play St. Louis. He understood this city, and he just had a good time, like a guy with a fisherman with a long rod, reeling it in. And I say that in a positive sense.
Sure.
I did not know Ray Hartman during his Riverfront Times years. He had already left.
Okay.
But I knew Ray Hartman with a prior paper that nobody will remember. I'm not even sure I can remember. It was called St. Louis. I'm not going to remember. It was a little weekly. And he ran it out of an office in Clayton, and I would sell him stories, and I would take them over at 8 o'clock at night, and everybody be gone, and he would be there all alone, editing copy, and I'd give him my copy, and he'd read it, and he'd say, okay, good, I'll send you a check. The check always came, and there was a guy working like a Trojan to make something happen.
Yeah.
And eventually he did.
Yeah. Yeah, Riverfront Times was one of the great ones. Your book, let's talk about your book, Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater, Dennis Brown, theater critic, theater reviewer for the Riverfront Times. Why'd you write the book?
I wrote the book because it's an accumulation of material from those years, which go back as far as 25 years. And I came across it in my closet one day, all these old stories, and I started reading them, and I said, there was a lot of talent in St. Louis in those days, and they deserve more. Those people, those actors, those directors, those designers, they deserve more than a review that ran for a week and then got tossed into the trash. There's permanence in a book. And so I put it together, and I thought that people would pick it up and they'd read a piece here, they'd read a piece there. They'd go to the index and see if their name was in.
Yeah.
Hasn't been that way at all. People tell me they started on page 1 and they read through to the end. And when they're done, they say, wow, what a love letter to St. Louis, which wasn't my intention, but I will be happy to claim that.
You know, I could see that people remember an actor or an actress or a rendition of Meet Me in St. Louis at the Muni or whatever else, and so they may have seen it as well, and it brings back memories to when they went and saw it. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, this book has an interview with Hugh Martin, who wrote the songs for Meet Me in St. Louis. The whole story of how Meet Me in St. Louis came to be as a musical, first movie and then on stage, is here in this book. There's just a lot of substance besides just opinions.
Yeah. You break it down into years and then reviews. Now, you didn't do, you had to pick and choose which reviews you wanted.
I did. This is only 14% of my output for the Riverfront Times. So I had lots to choose from, lots to reject. But I wanted it to be positive first.
Yes.
I wanted a lot of theaters to be represented. I didn't want it to be all Muni reviews or all rep reviews or all black rep reviews. So I wanted a cross-section.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of in and out, in for a while, take it out, plug in something new.
So, let me ask you this question. You have 2005. You haven't broken down into years.
Yes.
You mentioned Big River.
River.
At the Fox.
You remember it?
I saw it.
You'll never forget it, will you?
I have said for years, I've seen shows in the West End in London. I've seen them on Broadway. I've seen them in high school gymnasiums. Big River probably could be the most influential and impactful musical I've ever seen.
And that's why it's in this book. And that's why that review deserves to be permanent, because that was one of the great evenings in theater in anyone's lifetime. And I tried to capture that in the review.
Explain to people why Big River, not a very well-known musical.
Not a very well-known.
And an obscure musical in a sense, but why Big River in 2005 at the Fox is yours and mine's most impactful musical we've ever seen.
Well, because it was staged by Deaf West.
Yeah.
And no one hearing that is going to say, oh, I want to go see a musical with deaf people. You're dragged to that production kicking and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see it and you have a mind-blowing experience because you've never had that experience in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And may never have that experience again.
They had speaking actors next to the deaf actors, but the deaf actors were singing and dancing along with the musical. And what blew me away, I mean, the other actors on the stage, sort of, when you're watching sort of Avenue Q, right? The humans disappear on stage and the puppets take over. Very similar to Big River. But I believe it was right before intermission. And the cast is doing the big rendition right before intermission. And they're singing and they're dancing and the music's going and it's just wonderful. And you're having a lovely time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the music stops. And all the deaf actors keep singing and dancing. And in that
only singing.
And in that instant,
electrifying.
You get just the smallest of sliver of an idea of what it's like to be deaf. Extremely powerful.
That is the difference between being successful and attaining achievement.
Mm-hmm.
That show achieved something that no other musical production has ever achieved. And I went to see it twice. It was only, I don't know, I think it was here for 2 weeks. I went to see it twice. It started in Los Angeles. From Los Angeles, in a little 100-seat theater, it moved to the Mark Taper, then to Broadway, then the tour. And we were just lucky that St. Louis got it.
Yeah. And again, I don't think it came in with a whole lot of fanfare.
No.
It didn't leave with a whole lot of fanfare, but all these years later, 20 years later, we're talking about a musical in the Muni from 20 years ago.
Well, it didn't hurt that the fact that the show was based on Huckleberry Finn,
right?
Which is a Missouri-themed show.
Yeah.
But that isn't why it was successful in Los Angeles, and that isn't why it was successful in New York. It was successful because there was a connection between deaf people and speaking people that most of us have never had before.
Yeah.
I actually stayed one night. They had a seminar after the show, and they had invited a lot of deaf people from St. Louis as their guests. And the seminar was very difficult. The communication between the deaf people in the audience and the deaf actors on stage was uncomfortable because there are different degrees and levels of communication. And that show had managed to reach us.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Dennis Brown, our guest. Will you stick around for another segment?
Happy to.
The book is called Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater. Where can we get the book? Do you have any book signings coming up?
You can get it at Amazon. You can get it on my website, authordennisbrown.com. You can buy it in the gift shop at the Missouri History Museum, which especially pleases me because I always loved that gift shop. So there are a few places you can get it.
Any book signings coming up we should know about?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Dennis Brown, hold that thought. The book is called Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater. He was the theater critic for the Riverfront Times for 13 years, and he joins us here on the Big 550 KTRS. Gelmish & Sons has been around since 1950. Big red trucks, big red billboards, but at Gelmish & Sons, what do you know? You know that they're an air conditioning and a heating and cooling company. And look, with this heat wave going on, this is no joke. It's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. It's life-threatening. So check on mom, check on dad, check on the neighbors, make sure the dog and the cat have plenty of water. And then when the air conditioner goes out, your first phone call is to Gelmish & Sons. Why? Because they've been handling St. Louis summers for 76 years. The family that opened the doors in 1950 still runs it today. Now, they have a lot of help, and they've had people who've worked there for 15, 20, 30. Believe it or not, they have employees who've worked there for 40 years. Their last name isn't Gelmish, but they are part of the Gelmish family. Gelmish & Sons. Trusted, preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. They'll install a brand new Lennox air conditioner and a furnace when you need a new one, but they'll fix any make and any model right now. In this heat wave, it is no joke. You want to call somebody who will get there and get there fast? Gelmish, 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, no accidents, but 64 East slows down at Hanley, and 5570 West is jammed from 205 to Black Lane due to construction. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. The first 75 people to bring an unwrapped toy for families in need get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night this Friday, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Way to go for the USA! He has done it! What a goal!
It's time for a CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's.
First semifinal in the books. It went to Spain on Monday after a 2-0 win against France, a French team that at times looked unbeatable in this tournament. Instead, it's Spain advancing to just their second all-time World Cup final. They await the winner later this afternoon down in Atlanta. The defending champions from Argentina, they will take on England. That game comes up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. This CarShield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer Update presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's. Also brought to you by Yinzer Family Dental, Spas and More, STL, Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, River City Tree Service, and Dents Express on the Big 550.
This has been the CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update on the Talk of St. Louis. Big 550 KTRS.
In soccer, a guaranteed win is rare. But in real estate, Gloria Lou makes it happen.
Sell with certainty this summer with Gloria Lou at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. While the world's best score on the field, Gloria scores and sells for you this summer. Her summer upfront guarantee. Gloria will sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service.
Hey St. Louis, whether it be auto, home, life, or business insurance, Alexander Hinton has you covered as a trusted insurance agent of the Big 550 KTRS. Get a quote today with Alexander Hinton and American Family Insurance. Keep your insurance agent local, not managed by a call center, and speak to the same person every time you call.
Save now by calling 314-205-2050. That's 314-205-2050.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green. Online at jewelsonhampton.com.
Is your job just a job, and you want to work in a rewarding career? If the answer is yes, then start your journey today by becoming a union construction craft laborer. Why wait? Visit buildunion.com to learn more about becoming a union craft laborer and starting a rewarding career in the construction industry. Build a career, build a future, build a legacy. Buildunion.com for more information.
For the first time in a generation, the World Cup is back on North American soil. From St. Louis City SC to the global stage, there's never been a more exciting time to be a soccer fan in the Lou. Just like a championship team needs a game plan, your retirement deserves one too. At Means Financial Group, we help individuals and families build retirement strategies designed for confidence and clarity. Learn more at meansfinancialgroup.com. Means Financial Group. Planning for what retirement means to you.
Shop the Midwest's largest selection of hot tub and swim spa brands at the Midwest Hot Tub Show at the St. Charles Convention Center this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Save thousands off MSRP with special show pricing. Hot tubs as low as $4,995. Check MidwestHotTubShow.com for more details.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's one of the songs from Big River. We were talking about it with Dennis Brown, who is the former theater critic for the Riverfront Times. He's out with a new book called Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater. Richard Jenkins blurbed the book. Yeah. Listen to this. Character actor Richard Jenkins. If you don't know the name, you definitely know the face. He writes, I don't think you can be a great theater critic if you don't love the theater. Dennis Brown is a great theater critic. It is, however, a bit sad to read his reviews because at the end of each review, I find myself thinking, wow, I'd really like to see that.
Yes, Richard is a good friend.
Yeah.
We went to college together.
Okay.
So I've known him for decades and decades. We just had a reunion 2 weeks ago. We went to Stratford, Ontario to the theater festival in Stratford. He and his wife met at Illinois Wesleyan, and we all three of us have been friends ever since.
Is that where you went, Illinois Wesleyan?
Illinois Wesleyan.
Where'd you go to high school here in St. Louis?
Clayton.
And then did you always what'd you want to do? Do you want to be in movies, TV, theater? What was your...
I wanted to be a theater director.
Theater director.
But, things don't always work out the way we hope that they're going to work out. And so it's really important, I think, that you keep your eyes open and don't just have this myopic goal that's what I have to do.
Right.
Go with the moment. And if the moment offers you something here, I ended up in theater publicity and then ended up in television publicity and never really regretted a day of it.
Yeah. Well, obviously you're a writer. You love to write, obviously.
Well, publicity is writing. Yeah. Publicity was writing once upon a time.
Now who knows what it is. Yeah, who knows what it is now. Tell me that Sam Neill story you want to tell me.
I said during the break, Sam's so much on my mind today because he was such a good person. And when he gets a blurb, a line or two, in an online column, that's not who he was. He was the real thing. And we all live, and nobody can deny this, I don't think, we all live in a who you know world. It's very important who we know. Sam Neill lived in a who you don't know world. And by this I mean he lived in New Zealand. He made his first Australian movie. It was called My Brilliant Career. It was very successful, went around the world. And it was seen in London by James Mason, who probably knew as much about film acting as anyone alive. And he saw in Sam Neill a great talent. He got on the phone. He did not call Sam Neill. Sam Neill didn't know this was happening. James Mason called every producer and director he knew and said, you have to go see this movie. And then he started getting calls, James Mason, saying, well, we saw the movie. When can we meet him? Where is he? Can we have lunch? So James Mason tracked down Sam Neill's agent in Australia and said, please tell your client I would like to send him a first-class, one-way ticket to London to come here as my guest and see what happens. And we know what happened. He went to London as the guest of James Mason and his wife, Clarissa Kay, and
that was his break.
That was it. That was it.
That was it.
From a man who he did not even know.
Yeah, really interesting. Dennis Brown, talk about the negative review. You went to go see something, you didn't like it. What did you do?
Well, first of all, I went to the theater and I would sit down, and as the lights were going down, you can't see this on the radio, but I would rub my hand as if I was erasing a blackboard. And as the lights were going, I would always say, all right, this is the first time. You haven't seen these actors before. You haven't seen this production before. This theater has no history with you. Now let's see it as fresh as we can see it. You see something, it doesn't take long to know if you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come home and you sit down at the laptop and you try to say that as diplomatically as possible, but still say it.
Mm-hmm.
I know reviewers in this town who would go see something and tell me how much they hate it, and then the review comes out and butter wouldn't melt. They didn't have the courage to say it. I had the courage to say it because I thought they needed to hear it. And what I learned was that they wanted to hear it.
Mm.
They loved hearing it. They had never been reviewed before, and they loved being treated seriously.
The actors.
The actors.
And the producers and the
less
directors.
The producers.
Yeah.
Less the producers. The actors loved being told because they believed me when I said they were good, and they also believed me when I said they were bad.
So
if I
you
said
had
they
the
were bad first, when I said they were good, then they really liked that.
So you had the credibility and the heft that they respected your opinion.
I would never use the word heft.
I did.
But I know that the theater community looked forward to reading the Riverfront Times. I don't know that was the case before I arrived.
Right.
But I know that after a couple of years, and I was there for 13, they looked forward to those reviews. I actually had a letter from an email from someone who said, I was in a show that opened last Friday night. I came down to my regular coffee shop this morning, on Thursday morning. I got my regular cappuccino. I sat, I opened, this is my tradition, my weekly custom for reading your reviews, and I wasn't there. Why didn't you review my play?
Mm.
Well, it was because there were multiple openings that weekend, and I had to make a decision. But people actually, really did look forward to being reviewed.
It makes sense. If someone is giving you praise and you don't respect their opinion, what good is the praise?
Exactly.
Right. What about, did you ever see a play, a musical, something that was so bad you just said, I can't review this?
I did. I don't know how far I want to go into this. It was a musical that was having its premiere at the Rep. And, I think it was called Ace. It was a new musical. And at the intermission, I saw my cohort, and I said, I can't review this. why don't you do it? And then by the time it was over, I said, no, they know I'm here to review it. This is my responsibility. I'll do it. I wrote a review. It was not kind. A year later at the Kevin Kline Awards, those two guys won the Kevin Kline Award as Best New Play in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And they got up there and they accepted it. And they said, and by the way, we want to comment about a review that we got. We want to tell you, we don't know this man, but that review was so helpful to us.
Really?
Yeah. We listened to what he wrote in that, and when we moved on to Cincinnati, we started initiating some of the changes that he suggested, and we think we have a better show now.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's what constructive criticism is all about. Right? You didn't just sort of bash them to bash them. You sort of pointed out.
Nobody takes pleasure in bashing somebody. I don't.
Well, that's not true.
I know that I don't, and I actually tried to keep my distance from the theater community for fear that I might have hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
And I regretted that. There were people I would like to have known better, but I felt that I couldn't be objective. You're not. Reviewing is not objective. Reviewing is informed subjectivity.
Right.
But I still wanted to keep some kind of separation.
Yes, and it's also, you don't want to bash your hometown, and whether it's one of the cultural institutions, everyone's working to try and make a better this or a better community or a better whatever. And so you don't want to just go off willy-nilly, but you also want to be respectful of the listener, to the reader, and everybody else. So
you want them to be better.
Yeah, yeah. Since you've been all over the world and you've worked in all these places, put the theater scene in perspective for us here in St. Louis.
Hey, I can't speak about today because I don't go to the theater as much as I used. But during the years that I was reviewing, theater was as good in St. Louis as you were going to find it in any regional area. I actually say in the book that during the 13 years that I reviewed, I never once went to New York to go to the theater, nor did I feel a need to. The theater that I was getting here was every bit as good as the theater anywhere, New York, anywhere else. And I hope that the people in St. Louis understand that. Yeah. They've got something here, and they really need to support it.
Mike Isaacson's got a closet full of Tonys.
Well,
Jack Lane's got a closet full of. No, I get that. Yeah. But I mean, the tradition of the theater here in St. Louis. Currently, the ones, right, the Jack Lane's got a closet full of Tonys, and the Munis now had the new changeover, right? Denny Reagan's gone, but Kofi's there, and it's just sort of hasn't skipped a beat and taken it to the next level. So the Fox has always been, right? I mean, what they've done to the Fox is nothing short of amazing.
With all due respect, there's a lot more to St. Louis theater than the Muni and the Fox.
Well, and the Black Rep and the
Black Rep did things at the Black Rep that I just will remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
There were upstream theater, a small theater that excels in putting on plays that were first done in Poland. Who would think that would be interesting? They did things that were just devastating. There's theater all over the place.
Yeah.
If you seek it out, you will find it.
Did you ever review a high school play or musical?
No, but when I started at the Riverfront Times, they were not reviewing college.
Okay.
And I started reviewing college, and I didn't care. I didn't ask anybody's permission. I didn't ask the school's permission. I just did it. And one day I was in the late lamented Gourmet to Go, and the head of the theater department from Washington U recognized me, and he came up and said, "I just want to tell you, we don't know each other. Your reviews have meant so much to our students because they're on the same page with a review of a show at the Fox, and you are making them feel like professionals. And kids in college need that."
Good stuff. Really good stuff. The book is called Stage Page, Memories of Mostly Marvelous St. Louis Theater. Dennis Brown has been our guest. What's the website for people to find out more and find the book?
AuthorDennisBrown.com. I can tell you it's a really good website because I didn't make it. A young woman named Carrie Spiegel made it, and she did a great. It was her idea, and she did a beautiful job. And before we go, I have to say that speaking of beautiful jobs, Marjorie Williamson, who did the illustrations in this book. There are about 45 of them. They are brilliant, and they're worth the price of the book alone just to see what Marjorie did. She's a genius talent.
Yeah, Black Rep, Fontbonne, Wash U, Webster University, right? The list goes on and on. Yeah, all those other ones. Yeah, great stuff. Dennis Brown, the book is called Stage Page, where all books are sold, also Amazon, the website, and everything else. Hey, thanks for a lovely hour.
It was my pleasure.
You betcha. 9:49 here, Big 550 KTRS. Looking for an appliance? Yeah. Washer, dryer, refrigerator, whatever it may be. Appliance Discounters has got a deal for you. They have 6 area locations, and we know how much they buy in bulk and then pass those savings on to you. Well, that continues. Appliance Discounters has you covered. Come in today. They'll deliver it tomorrow. Everything in the store is on sale for the month. Savings up to 60% on select models. In addition to the sales prices, this is on top of the great prices. Then they're going to have savings up to 60%. All the factory rebates and all the factory warranties on those name brand models are all part of the plan. 6 locations. Drive right by the big box stores and go to Appliance Discounters that is run by the largest family-run St. Louis retailer in St. Louis. They are the largest appliance retailer in St. Louis, family-owned, family-operated, Baldwin, South County, St. Charles, Maplewood, Afton, Earth City, theappliancediscounters.com.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis to help improve my home when it matters most. It's not just Pella's high-quality windows and doors. It's the local experts who know the St. Louis area so well. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects or 0% no payments, no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. 833-87-PELLA or Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Summer in St. Louis means oppressive heat and humidity. Now's the time to take advantage of Aldon Heating and Cooling's $79 AC check with a free home air quality snapshot. And summer is allergy season. Now's the time to take advantage of Aldon's $200 off an allergy relief package, which includes an air scrubber and filtration system. Book your appointment now as spaces are filling up fast. Certain restrictions apply. And for information on a state-of-the-art dike and fit system, visit al-don.com.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Celebrate National Ice Cream Day this Sunday, July 19th at all Clementine's ice cream locations. Beginning at noon, the first 50 people at each parlor receive a free limited edition t-shirt, 1 shirt per transaction. Come taste their new international flavors, including one-day-only Dubai chocolate and matcha lemon curd. See you at Clementine.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
little Linda Ronstadt for you. She's no Helen Reddy, but that's a whole other issue. 314, great hour. Thanks. You betcha. Dennis Brown was really fun to talk to. St. Louis Community College Floral Valley does a deaf theater production for both hearing and deaf. Every year I email a McGraw about it, and he's never responded. Just to let you know, I sent that woman my email address and said I never got it. I'm assuming it's a woman. 314, oh my, heart pounding. When you have a minute, watch this 2-minute clip of Sam Neill answering a student journalist who asked him what was the best lesson he learned from his parents. It's both moving and genuine, choked up reaction to the question and profound in its simplicity of what his mother told him. Marcia Mason went to Nearinks, practically next door to the theater. Yeah, no. When I first met him, he was in the lobby and went out to say hi to him, and he started telling me the story of the Marcia Mason interview that Charlie Brennan and I did. I don't know, 20-something years ago. It'd been 25 years ago, 26 years ago. Isn't it amazing? Something you did 26 years ago, and someone stops you in the street and says and tells you a story.
I still remember that.
I still remember your Marcia Mason interview from 25 years ago. A different breed. Theater critic, radio, television, newspaper. Just a different. Just not different. Everyone's different, right? If you're a mechanic, you're built differently. If you're in this business, you're just built differently. But really interesting. And how about all these years later, Big River? It was one of the most moving and emotional and life-changing musicals I ever saw. An adaptation of Huckleberry Finn by a deaf troupe at the Fox. And all these years later, he ends up writing about it. Really good stuff. All right. Mad Magazine, a lot of Mad Magazine fans out there. Mad Magazine is still being published, some old and some new content. I didn't know Mad Magazine was making new content.
They're not.
Okay.
It's just repackaged stuff.
Okay, gotcha. Went into the men's restroom somewhere. The wall above the urinals was plastered with Mad Magazine pages.
Oh, that's the Alamo Theater.
Okay.
Down in Midtown.
All right. Hey, McGraw, our grade school in Peoria, we had a Alfred E. Newman Club, AEN Club for Alfred E. Newman Club. Such wild fun. Pretty out there for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. 6th, 7. Yeah. I saw Mad Magazine at Barnes & Noble in West County Mall yesterday. Spy versus Spy was great.
Yes.
A lot of Mad Magazine fans out there. Who knew? All right. Let me tell you about St. Louis Weight Loss, STLMedWeightLoss.com. Look, we've all been there. We're all there now. You got to lose some weight. The clothes, they're getting too big. The doctors are warning you. Your spouse, your family members are telling you, look, you have to get this under control, right? It's just not healthy. STLMedWeightLoss.com. They'll send the drugs right to your front door, and you can start losing weight this week. Go to STLMedWeightLoss.com and talk to Dr. Joe or one of his nurse practitioners. Once you're approved, they'll get the medicine sent to your door, and you're off and running. Introductory prices for as low as $200 and 6-month prices locked in. What does that mean? You have price guarantee for 6 months, so all you have to do is concentrate on losing weight. It's not a magic pill. You still have to do the other things, but it is a great, great boost for you, and it reduces your cravings and boosts your metabolism. It's a great, great way to start losing weight, these GLP-1s. And how do you get a hold of it? STLMedWeightLoss.com. STLMedWeightLoss.com. Thanks for putting up with me, as always. Frank and Jill come your way next. We'll see you tomorrow.